Germo might be involved, but of course Germo been coaching over in the Waffle for the last couple of years and was coaching over there, and now he's back. So watch this space on all things Yarrawonga. A very good afternoon to everyone that has just tuned in via Snap Print Solutions TV. We are still around about 40 minutes away from the bounce of the ball, so plenty of time for you to grab yourself a refreshment, something to eat, and before you settle into your living rooms or wherever you may be tuning in right across the globe. And if you are tuning in internationally, let us know on the YouTube comments where you are tuning in from. We love finding out where everyone is watching the best live local football league in the world.
Our man Divac will be tuning in yet?
Well, it's about 3:30 in the morning, I think, where Divac is, and
he'll be sound asleep.
I'll tell you one man who's tuning in. That is one of Bobby Jackson's favourites, Brady Morton. Sent me through a photo about 10 minutes ago. He's tuning in from a nightclub in Lisbon.
There's better things to do in a nightclub in Lisbon, isn't there?
Say, surely
there's better things to do.
Even just watching the pre-game, not even the game, watching the pre-game.
I tell you right now, if Mort's listening right now, he's nothing like his old man if he's listening to the football in a nightclub. I can tell you that right now. Straighten yourself up, young man.
He said, you better give me a shout-out. I've swindled my way into the VIP section, and all I'm doing is watching O&M footy. I think I need some serious help.
I think he does too. I'm with him there, bro.
Here comes the photo. He's nestled himself away in the corner.
I tell you what, his old man better not find out, otherwise you'll disown him. Fair income, that's a disgrace, young Morts.
Big shout out to Brady Morton, the assistant coach of Corowa Rutherglen. Of course, Brady and amongst many other players are in Europe at the moment, and I'm sure there'll be a fair few tuning in.
Must have got a good paycheck at Corowa then if he's gone to Lisbon.
Does the call team get, a holiday away in Lisbon, or what's the go?
Sweethearts.
Yeah, sweethearts with Lukey Francis.
We'll get a free feed tonight, and I think that's about as
and then a flight to Lisbon, or is that?
I don't think Lisbon. Divac sort of somehow got onto the American ticket. I got that one last year, so
Panda didn't he? I think.
Yeah, Panda got that ticket as well. So
you get an Uber to Dean Street.
Yeah, a bit of Dean Street flavour tonight. We might take a break here on the pre-game show. We're doing it all thanks to Baker Motors on O&M Live. Great to have your company on 2AY and 3&E or streaming right across the globe on Snap Print Solutions TV. On the other side of the break, the Parade of Champions is about to kick off. We'll bring you all the footage and build up to the 2024 SS&A Ovens and Murray Grand Final. It's the Yarrawonga Pigeons and the Wangaratta Rovers right here on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
rumours are true. We're heading to the Riverina. That's right, 5th Quarter Camps is heading to Albury and Wagga Wagga this October. We'll be in Albury on Tuesday the 8th and Wednesday the 9th of October. We'll then be in Wagga Wagga on the 10th. Isaac and I will be bringing plenty of our teammates along for the journey. We can't wait to see you all there. Head to 5th Quarter Camp's website for more details. See you soon.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Gus McLeod, joined by Scott Montgomery, Brad Freak. Bob Jackson
have a look at him.
Just nestled himself for the Newmarket Hotel.
Is he?
Oh my God.
For those that are playing along at home, let's see if we can get Trav Cartwright, the best cameraman in the business, to zoom in on the bench on true centre wing. And Bobby J just looks like a man who's having a Sunday stroll.
He was hoping Perry Lewis-Smith will come sit next to him, I reckon. That's what he was hoping for.
Boys, this is the actual seat where the teams will run out onto the ground and get their quick team photo for their grand final performance today. And I thought, well, let's do a media one, and I'm out here by myself, so I'm just soaking up the rays. The sun's actually poking its head through today at the moment, and it looks like we might have some, it might break up looking out to the west, so yeah. Anyway,
where'd those shorts go you had on earlier?
No, it was cold earlier, Monty. I got scared and had to put some pants on, so yeah, not good.
Bobby Jackson, we might get you just to wander over towards sort of Craig Willis and maybe stick that microphone in his face, mate, because the Parade of Champions is happening right now, and there's some wonderful Ovens and Murray representatives. Of course, Willie Wheeler won't be out there because he's about to play, but M. Brown is out there and a few others as well. So, of course, the Parade of Champions is happening right now, and you can watch that on O&M Snap Print Solutions TV, Gussie.
What about Blake Penderecott? It's his first Ovens and Murray grand final, and he just injects himself into the broadcast.
Well, I had to do your job for you, mate.
I was coming to you. I was waiting for I had the big introduction ready to rock and roll.
Wow, just slides in, doesn't wait for his introduction.
Do you reckon that the shorts have an inch has come up? I reckon they're getting
shorter. He keeps folding them up.
Well, the legs have just gotten bigger. What do you reckon?
No, shorts have definitely come up. I do.
What'd you do? Pump a couple of deadlifts out before
Absolutely, mate.
A couple of squats.
A few squats. You know how some blokes, when they go out on the town or they get a few photos, they pump out the push-ups before the photo?
You know about it, Gus, wouldn't you?
That's me all the time. Yeah. Except I get on the knees and do the knee push-ups. Panda jumps on the squat rack before broadcast.
What about him making you run his partner's handbag down to her? Just abandon her and say, "No, Gus, I need you to do this for me."
Trying to get Gussie steps up. Let's just say that because you need him, Gussie. But no, I was up at the A grade netball, just making sure things were going all right there. But no, very happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Not making sure his 7 month pregnant partner was okay.
Yeah, able to get into the ground with her bag.
That was my job.
6 months. Come on.
A bit of May. The Parade of Champions, Panda, is in full flight, and of course we've got a couple of fantastic people in the Parade of Champions. The only thing I don't like about the Parade of Champions this year is I thought the Parade of Champions were these cars at the front here that have roofs on them. We do have the utes at the back. I was going to say the McRae Motors cars do look absolutely sensational. Who we got coming through in the first car here, Panda?
We have Darcy Wilson, of course. He is the Ovens and Murray Grand Final ambassador. Of course, we've spoken to Darcy on the All-Rounders yesterday and spoke to him this morning. What a debut year it was, Monty, in the in the AFL for Darcy. Personally, stiff not to win the Rising Star. I've thought Ollie Dempsey was probably a little bit lucky there, but he's in the.
Really?
I reckon, yes, he's in the truck with potentially
Jeez,
M. Brown,
like a
I think.
St Kilda supporter. No, it's not Emily Brown.
Okay, so you don't think Darcy was worthy?
Nah, I don't. I thought the right winner in the end.
That pet there, Panda, her name escapes me.
It's Ruby Barkmeyer, and she's
Melbourne Vixen.
Yeah, Melbourne Vixen netball ambassador. So 2 superstars in that truck there. How about Monty just throwing our O&M representative under the bus? M. Brown is in the second car. She is the Tony Wilson medalist. Maddie Lischke, the netball rising star. So a couple of North girls in the back of the ute there in ute number 2.
We're going with Goat.
Goat.
Now on.
Yep.
Goat.
Yep, just like Nathan
Goat
Lyon,
Brown.
the Goat.
Goat Brown. I like it.
And then the car number 3 is Jack Costello, the 2024 football rising star. What a debut year for Jack. Of course, he was involved in this day, Monty, in the thirds last year, won the thirds premiership with Lavy, and had some sort of debut year in the seniors. Wasn't he fantastic?
Yeah, he was fantastic, and he just got better and better each game he played. And of course, sitting next to him is Matty Pendergast, who went into the Hall of Fame. So Chipsy Pendergast, he's there. Look at him, he loves it too, as he has a chat to Bobby Jackson on the way past, as you can hear in the microphone. But yeah, he was a great Hall of Famer this year. I thought he was well deserved because of his great career.
Now, car 4 and 5 have been car 4's been scratched because
there.
Well, I can tell you that Craig Edney and Chris Hyde are not in the car.
Well, that's definitely Tony Wilson.
So yes, Mick Wilson is in this car with Tony, of course. Hall of Fame inductee Mick Wilson. What a name that is for the Wangaratta Rovers, and they will 100% be hoping the Rovers can get over the line today.
Certainly will. As the we've got a car. This is a pretty sad car number 6, Panda. Unfortunately, coming through. Old car number 6.
I think that might have been supposed to be Willie's car. Willie Wheeler is the Morris medalist, but obviously he's a bit busy, a bit preoccupied.
We should. Where's Bobby J? Bobby J,
yes,
why don't you jump in the back of car number 6 and do the lap?
Yeah, Darcy Wilson's gone, stuff the rest of the lap. He's jumped out and walking back.
He's had enough.
We might, how about this, Bobby? We might get you to go and have a quick chat to David Sinclair, chairman of the SS&A Ovens and Murray. He's right here in front of you. We know Sinkers loves the big stage.
I think he's about to get the cup off Darcy, so maybe just wait.
Oh, we've thrown a curveball there. We'll try and get Sinkers for a chat. Bobby Jackson has got the chairman of the SS&A Ovens and Murray, David Sinclair.
Boss, what sort of day we got planned for today? It's beautiful. You've actually made the sun come out, Sinks. How powerful are you?
Yeah, well, it was a bit touch and go this morning, but no, the weather looks fabulous. As long as the wind stays away, I don't think we'll get any rain. But as you know, wind really spoils a good game of footy.
We've already had 2 good games of footy. You expecting another one this afternoon?
Look, I am. I think it'll be a lot closer than the second semi. What Wang Rovers needed to roll the dice, and I think they have, bringing in Will Christie. Of course, they get Sam Murray, Sam Catapan back, so they're going to be a much different side than played in the second semi, and I think it will be a closer game.
How's your official duties upstairs? We did hear the speech. It was off the top shelf, mate. It was not bad.
Well, according to my wife, it needed to be short and sharp. Apparently, I spoke too long last year, so that was that was what I was trying to do. But look, it's a great day. The venue is just absolutely awesome. If there's a better venue in regional Victoria, New South Wales, then I haven't seen it. The way Albury Council present this venue is just amazing.
Ensnaring the voice of the AFL. That was a fair snare, mate, for the day.
Yeah, it was. Craig Willis. Kane did well to get him. So, Luke, you might be taking a back seat, but you're doing it to the best in the country, mate.
All the best for the day, Sinks.
No worries. Thanks, Robbie.
David Sinclair, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel with Bob Jackson. Bobby, Sinkers just mentioned the wind and how it can cause a bit of grief for footy. Yeah. You're on true centre wing on the broadcast side. What is the weather conditions like there at ground level?
That wind is just as you spoke, it's picked up a little bit and it's heading towards the scoreboard end. I reckon it's probably maybe a 2 or 3 goal. Maybe breeze. It's gusty, boys, and you guys have been here a lot as well. It can tend to swirl sometimes, and it's just got a scoreboard feel about it right now. But as I said, as I speak now, it's just dropped off again. So it's just a bit gusty, but the ground's in magnificent conditions. There's no excuse for footing today. The cricket wicket's nicely covered, and it's at the right. What's the word? Racetracks, pedometry, or whatever it's called. The
penetrometer meter.
Penetrometer meter. Yeah, it's perfect. They've had the penetrometer podiatry. How am I going? So it's pretty good conditions out here. So the players have got no excuses in regards to that. So it's she's all system go, boys. We just need that siren to go. Let's get stuck into it.
We'll let you get ready, Bobby, for the pre-game ceremony. Doing some great work for the Newmarket Hotel. Scott Montgomery, who was alongside us with special comments this afternoon. Thanks to the team at the Newmarket Hotel. Monty, the teams have been confirmed, and that change for the Rovers we spoke about has been officially locked in.
Yeah, only the one change for the selected teams, and that's Wangaratta Rovers. Lockie McCartney has missed, and Finn Osborne has come in from that emergencies list. Obviously, McCartney, as we spoke about, AC joint at training on Friday night, so I think Finn was informed on Wednesday he was missing out, and then gets a reprieve late in the piece, so he'll be excited. I'm sure he'll be up and about.
Looks like we aren't too far away from the respective sides running out. Of course, we do have about a 10-game pre-match ceremony, and we are 22 minutes away from the bounce of the ball. Panda, on your first grand final day, mate, for season 2024, how are your nerves coming into the big game?
Looking forward to it. How much pressure are on the banner operators to write something good on the banner? You want to make sure that first impression when the captains are coming out, it pumps the whole side up. So there would have been a little working committee, I reckon, Monty, at these clubs to get something
just
important.
No jibes at some opposition sponsors like some clubs have done in the past, like Lavington, I think, did one year to the Aubrey Tigers.
Yes.
Maybe just don't do that, because it might come back to bite you.
Spelling's important too, boys. You've got to nail it spelling.
Well, I wouldn't be on a committee because I'd bugger it up.
Just go spell check them ones for us, please, Bobby.
Just rolling over there now to the Rovers to see what they've got. So it depends on where they went to school. Was it Galen or
Cathedral? Maybe Wang High.
The banners can be dangerous. I played in the grand final here in the reserves in 2008, and the bloke next to me went to jump up really high, got caught, elbowed me in the mush, had a blood nose before we even ran out on the ground.
Did you win the game?
No, we lost by 3 points.
That was an omen.
Yep. It was.
What's on the banner, Bobby? You've read that now, the Wangaratta Rovers banner?
This is your moment. It's your time to shine, to soar, for our legends who have passed and those are still here. Let's make 24 Rovers a year.
I like it.
Doesn't rhyme all that well. But
I didn't read it very well.
I like the message.
I'm a numbers man.
I'm a numbers man.
Brad Freak, we might get this opportunity now. We know you are the best numbers man, speaking of numbers in the business, on the 40 Wink stat sheet, to give us who you're taking tabs on this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll start with the Yarrawonga side of things. Obviously, Harry Wheeler, Michael Gibbons, 2 stars of their midfield. Dan Howe, Perry Lewis-Smith, Robbie's man, and Willie Wheeler, the Morris medalist. It's hard to go past that core that they've got there. And for the Wangaratta Rovers side, we're going to Dylan Stone, Lockie O'Brien, the 2 wingers for them, Brody Philo in the middle, and Sam Murray's going to have a massive job in the middle of the ground, and Sam Catapan as well, who built into the game nicely, and I reckon he'll be fit and firing and ready to go for today's grand final.
And the umpires as well. We got Jeff Bassett out there, who was voted the umpire of the year at the Morris Medal on Monday night. We have Jace Rain, and we also have Ash Broughton. So the 3 best in the business, I reckon. Monty?
Jeff's son, I think he's running the boundary as well, Isaiah. So a bit of a father-son duo running around in the grand final, which is great to see.
Absolutely fantastic to see. So the Rovers will probably be out first, and the Yarrawonga Pigeons will follow us here at the Lavington Sports Ground. Just repeating, Ray White Rural Netball update, Gus McLeod. Yarrawonga have won the premiership. The scores are wrong on the app, so don't worry about that. It was 40-32, so an 8-goal win, and I think Laura Irvine was voted best on court for the Yarrawonga Pigeons.
I'd like to say I tipped that, because I did. So well done to Yarrawonga, and well done to Laura Ryan.
I think I tipped Yarra too.
You did?
Yeah,
you also tipped
Yarra.
Larissy to
I
get
tipped them in Larissy.
best on court. Has been a fantastic addition to the Yarrawonga Pigeons this year. I'm not quite sure what the hold-up is. I reckon Muzz and Stevie J might just be trying to really pep.
No, I reckon quarter past they normally come out, so another couple of minutes.
Of course, if you are tuning in on Snapprint Solutions TV, like we said before, let us know in the YouTube comments where you are tuning in from. Of course, I know we've got viewers in the USA. We've got a viewer in Lisbon. So we're keen to find out where you are tuning in from this afternoon, or perhaps you're streaming us on the listener app on 1494 2AY.
Don't bother telling us you're in Wangaratta or Yarrawonga either, because I reckon there'll be a few down there.
Well, if you are down there, you should be here at the Lavington Sports Ground. The hill is starting to fill up, Monty. The Yarrawonga supporters are making their way down from the netball court, and they're injecting themselves into the hill, and there'll be a big contingency of Yarrawonga supporters up on that hill this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of blue because the Rovers wear blue as their main colour too, like in their shirts and their off-field merchandise. So there'll be a lot of navy blue, I reckon, rolling around today. But I reckon it's really starting to fill up, and we'd be pushing that 7,000 mark already with still 20 minutes till the main game.
The grandstand's starting to fill up as well, Monty, which is good to see, of course. A big contingency of Rovers supporters right bang smack on centre wing, right in front of us. I reckon that's where they've plonked themselves. And, of course, they were in the thirds, the under-17, so a massive contingent of Rovers supporters. But, Monty, it's been 30 years since they've won a grand final. 1994 was the last time. It's actually the second longest drought in the Ovens and Murray behind Myrtleford. So they really want to make sure that look at the flags they won in the 70s, 80s and 90s. They are a genuine powerhouse, and they feel that they need to get back to where they belong?
Oh, it's been such a long process to get back here, isn't it? I think they lost a couple in the 2000s that they probably thought they were a real chance in, and then also just they went through a couple of lean years through the 2010s, didn't they? And then they've been able to build back since they got Crezza to the club, and then Sam Murray's continued that on, and they've had a couple of years of playing finals footy now, and this is their next step.
Here comes Yarrawonga onto the Lavington Sports Ground for the 2024 Grand Final, led by vice-captains Bailey Fronfelder alongside Harry Wheeler, in the absence of their inspirational captain, Lee Masters, who won't be a part of the game today after suffering an ACL in the earlier stages of the season.
A bit of love between Pigeons and Bobby Jackson.
How about that?
That's how we roll.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby goes and gets a one-on-one photo.
Travel have to get a one-on-one as soon as they take this one, I reckon.
We're business, mate. We're business. How good was that?
He's excited. Look at the smile on his face out there.
He's maybe a little bit too excited, our man Bobby J.
Oh, wow.
He's absolutely pumped. To tell you who else is pumped, that's our camera crew this afternoon and our live stream production crew. You've got Logan Cartwright from Cartwright Productions doing some fantastic work on the ground. We've got Travis and Sabina Cartwright. We've got Danny. We've got Jason. We've got Jackson Luke from Wangaratta Indigo Computers putting together the pictures this afternoon. We've got it on in the office here, Panda, and my word, it looks an absolute treat.
It looks fantastic. So make sure you let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And if you're on the old wireless as well on 2AY and 3NE, a big hello to you and welcome to the Lavington Sports Ground. They've been such a great side all year, Monty. You were there. They lost that one game for the year. 1 point in an absolute, well, it was a crap game, let's be really honest, against the Albury Tigers. But they have been the best side by a very long way all year.
By a long way. And Michael Gibbons did his calf in the first quarter. That game played through till about 5 minutes into the third quarter, just trying to keep a rotation out there, but just could not go. Willie Wheeler was crook. He was throwing up out on the ground. So they were just underdone. They were so underdone that day. And yeah, it was probably a one that you don't mind losing midway through the year. It didn't really halt any momentum for them. The following week, I think they come back out and won quite comfortably. So they're a team that's been far and away the best team in it. But again, I still think the Rovers' best footy is right up there. It's just whether they can hold it together for 4 quarters.
And here come the Wangaratta Rovers, led out by Tom Boyd and Alex Marklew. Of course, what a wonderful name at the Wangaratta Rovers, the Marklew name, Freaky and Monty. And they're right up for this today. They were smashed and embarrassed in that first semi-final. 71 points to the rear of the Yarrawonga Pigeons. But they have a free hit today, don't they, Freaky?
Oh, well, I guess if you could say that into a grand final, really, can't they? Obviously, they're going to have 3 big inclusions into the side from the first final against Yarrawonga, obviously with Sam Catapan, Sam Murray, and then Will Christie into the side as well. So they're 3 massive ins. You could argue that Sam Murray's obviously the coach, so he's probably one of their most important players. Christie straightens him up. Top first 6-8 weeks of the season, he was probably team of the year ruckman by easily, and then obviously he had an unfortunate injury. So it's really, really good for them to be able to get their side back together. It's going to be a really big day for them. I think, as you say, they're going to have a big battle in that back half to be able to control the Yarrawonga forward half, but if they can get Tommy Boyd out and get his intercept game working, I think they're in with a big chance. I think they really are today.
How about this, Monty? In 2018, the Wangaratta Rovers won the wooden spoon. They didn't win a game. They were 0-18. Playing in that game was Will Nolan that year, Ed Damon, Dylan Stone, Shane Gaston, Stewie Booth, Will Christie, Alex Marklew, Kai Williamson and Jack Gerrish. So a big contingent of that side playing in a winless season.
Yeah, and I think a few of them, they were nearly thirds boys playing up that year, which is Ed Damon and Jackie Gerrish definitely, because then the following year was when Darren Creswell arrived and got them as 18-year-olds out of the thirds, and really they started to shape their club then, just missed finals, and then they got really on the fly from there, didn't they?
They certainly did. So what a turnaround it's been in 5 or 6 years for the Wangaratta Rovers. They made the preliminary final in 2022. They were beaten by the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They came from the elimination final. And then last year, of course, they never really gave it a shake, did they? They finished 5th and lost in an elimination final to the Wodonga Bulldogs. But they recruited heavily in the off-season. They've picked up, Ed Damon. Will Christie has come back to the club on a full-time basis. Xavier Allison, Lockie O'Brien, Sam Catapan. They've picked up a heap, haven't they, Freaky?
Kieran Parnell.
Yeah, they certainly have. And it's made them obviously clearly a much better side. But as Sam Murray said last week in post-game, it's probably still those 5-10 minutes lapses that they do have throughout games that at times can hurt, can cost you matches. And against a side like Yarrawonga, if they go through a 5 or 10 minute period where they're just off their game, they can really get hurt. Just looking at their matchups, not so much the game a couple of weeks ago, but throughout the home and away season, if we have a look, they were in the games up to 3/4 time. In round by 10, they were down by 10 points three-quarter time round 18, and then 3 points in round 9 against the Pigeons. But the last quarters by the Pigeons in both those games, kicking 4 and 5 goals in each of the last quarters, basically to not much, really run away with it. And that's just that little lapse that when you give a good side like Yarrawonga half a snip, they're going to take it, and they can't really afford to have any lapses in concentration today. Otherwise, the Pigeons are just going to turn the ball over and just hurt them for it really hard.
Monty, put your coach's hat on. No Lockie McCartney. If you just joined us, he's a laid out. Are you playing somebody as a lockdown, or are you just going head-to-head?
Probably going head-to-head to start the game, just to see what happens, and if you need to throw a cooler, depending on who it is. If it's a Willie Wheeler, I reckon Alex McCarthy they've used at times as a bit of a cooler. They did it to Tim Broomhead, they used him, so maybe he's an option to go to someone, Willie Wheeler, who's hasn't got the electric pace. He's just a really good stoppage player. But if it's a Perry Lewis-Smith or someone like that you've got to go with, or a Michael Gibbons who do have that extra pace, you're going to have to try and find someone who it might be.
Well, they do have that little bit of extra flexibility today with obviously Will Christie coming back into the side. We've seen, especially again last week, Alex McCarthy bobbing up and kicking 3 goals in that forward half. Bringing Will Christie into their forward line does allow them to have that little bit more flexibility to use McCarthy a little bit more in the midfield, where we've seen years gone by. That's where he's had his predominant role.
Yeah, and the one I probably forgot to mention was Kieran Parnell, who does a lot of tagging up in the NTFL. He actually tagged Brodie Philo in the finals this year when they played against Nightcliff. So, yeah, he could be an option to go and be that cooler if they need one through the middle of the ground.
Of course, we would cross to Bobby J for a bit of a ground report and a wind update. The sun looks like it's shining beautifully on the Lavington Sports Ground now, but Bobby's dished over his microphone to the voice of sport and Craig Willis, and we'll bring you the anthems and the pre-match ceremony very, very soon. I
thought you were going to say he was busy hugging Perry Lewis-Smith, just wishing him luck and stuff.
Perry's about to take out an AVO, I think, on Bobby J.
I'm actually waiting for Bobby J to go the double wristbands Perry Lewis-Smith does. I reckon that's a big fashion item that could happen to Robbie over the summertime.
I don't know what you boys think, but I'm starting to think it's actually a bromance, not a one-way street. I reckon
it was a one-way for a long time, and then I think Perry started to give a bit back because he realised how much was coming his way.
A little bit of Stockholm syndrome, maybe, you know? Perry starting to buy into what's going on.
There was enough love going one way, he thought I'd better feed a bit back. The big Bobby J.
So the players are making their way across to the centre line for the national anthems and the welcome to country. Great to have Darren White here once again. He is an absolute star. No funny business with Darren. He's an absolute ripper. Great to have a great local with a welcome to country. He's the best in the business.
I was just thinking to myself, boys, imagine how good Yarrawonga would be if they had Ryan Ironspawn and Lee Masters as well. Imagine the selection dilemma that would have been then during
there would have been a dilemma because Ryan Ironspawn does still carry 3 points. So it probably would have been Damo Wilson, perhaps.
The funny thing is that they're still heavy favourites without their best player in Lee Williams and the Morris medalist. So it just goes to show you how strong, Lee Masters, goes to show you how strong their lineup is, that they still come in heavy favourites, and people are thinking they're going to run away with this. I have a different opinion. I think it's going to be close. It's a grand final. Anything can happen as the Wangaratta Rovers come over here, and Craig Willis will start our presentation soon. Freaky?
Yeah, I was just about to say, obviously, Yarrawonga heavy favourites, but for the Rovers, probably a bit of their mentality this week is you only have to beat them once this season, and today could be the day they have to beat them. You only have to beat them once.
And I think as well, Yarrawonga will be having that game the Albury Tigers beat them in the back of their mind when Albury come with the clear plan. It was to make it a bit of a scrap heap and a fight, and I know it's not the Rovers' DNA, but they'll do their best to bring that today. We're about to cross boundary side. The players are linked arm in arm, the Yarrawonga Pigeons and the Rovers. And here's Craig Willis, the voice of the AFL. Well, today, Craig Willis is the voice of the SS&A.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon once again. Welcome to the SS&A Ovens and Murray Football Netball League Grand Final. For our welcome to country, would you please welcome Jarrett Whiten.
Thank you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Darren, and I'd like to do Welcome to Country for you. You might have seen the promo video that the Ovens and Murray done a little bit earlier this year. This is the culmination of that promotion for Indigenous Round, where all the teams used to travel the ancient paths of our ancestors in the football competition between our wonderful rivers of Murray and Ovens. And today the two top teams face it out. These two teams are from different sides of the same country. That's Bangarang country, like to say Wambarnaga Radjuri Ngurumbang. Welcome to Radjuri country from those of the Bangarang, both of Wangaratta and also Yarrawonga. So I'd just like to sing for you the welcome song, which speaks about unity, which speaks about coming together, learning, sharing, respecting and honouring one another, and football does that for us. Wambarna nginyani ngindu gada, Wambarna nginyani ngindu gada, Wambarna nginyani ngindu gada, Wambarna nginyani ngindu gada. Ngaji gaga ngaji mingan, non galana wanenge gigalana yinjamara, non galana wanenge gigalana yinjamara, non galana wanenge gigalana yinjamara. Wambarnaga Radjuri Ngurumbang, welcome to Radjuri country. Mandango, thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please be upstanding and join with the players, officials and umpires for the national anthem of Australia.
Advanced Australia Fair rings across the Lavington Sports Ground and the stage is set for the 2024 SS&A Ovens and Murray Grand Final. Good afternoon to you on 2AY, 3&E or Snap Print Solutions TV. We have asked for a shout out before the game, gents, to find out where people are tuning in from, and we've got some absolute rippers. We've got Lisbon represented by Brady Morton. We've got Kenny McCormick in Finland. We've got T Breezy tuning in from my part of the world, Blackburn. We've got the Carabo Whisperer tuning in from the Philippines. We've got Birdsville. We've got Longreach in Queensland. We've got Cobram. We've got Bendigo. We've got Kai Abram. We've got the Wimmera. And we've got a bloke called Jamie tuning in all the way from East Albury on Snap Print Solutions.
We're going everywhere. We're going all around the world, aren't we?
The stage is set for a massive grand final. We'll cross boundary side to Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel. Bobby Boy, give us a sense of the atmosphere at ground level.
It's just up the notch a little bit. The crowd's still rolling in from both the Hannah Street entry and also the scoreboard entry as well. So the crowd's starting to build a little bit, and you boys have probably got a better view than I have of the hill. It looks like the hill's slowly but surely filling up. So yeah, both sides pretty focused. Yeah, Sam Murray, I was just watching him and his body language, you know, the last 4 or 5 minutes, and he's amped and he's dragging a few blokes with him. So the Rovers are going to be up for it. They've got to be up for it, boys. It's simple as that. It's all chips in, and all the captains are coming to the centre now for the toss. So the breeze has picked up again now as we speak. So it's going to be gusty all day, boys. So Elm and Tommy Boyd have just come in, and we've got Harry and it looks like Basil. Yeah, they're all here shaking hands and pleasantries. There wasn't much smiling and hugging going on, that's for sure.
Darcy Wilson, the St Kilda star, the O&M Grand Final ambassador, tosses the coin. Bobby, it's been one and done.
Yarrawonga have won the toss, and Basil's defiantly pointed towards the scoreboard end. So Yarrawonga will be kicking with a little bit of a breeze early doors, so they'll be looking to get the jump, whereas the Rovers will be interested to see their tactics now, because it might be worth just being, you keep an eye on it, Monty, upstairs, but I think there might be an option to be a little bit more defensive, particularly with his breeze.
Absolutely, there will be, and it's 18 years today where Yarrawonga won the toss against Myrtleford, and and they kicked 8 goals in the first quarter because they had a massive breeze. So hopefully it's not the same out there, but it does look like it's pretty blowy and it could be a 3 or 4 goal breeze.
Freaky, who are we looking at if you just joined us on our 40-wing stat sheet this afternoon?
Yeah, Yarrawonga side of things, we've got Harry Wheeler, Michael Gibbons, Dan Howe, Perry Lewis-Smith, Willie Wheeler, the Morris medalist, of course, and Wangaratta Rovers, we've got Dylan Stone, Lockie O'Brien, Brodie Philo, Sam Murray and Sam Catapan.
Alrighty, so Yarrawonga getting into their positions, the Wangaratta Rovers still in their huddle. What would be going through the mind of Sam Murray right now, Monty?
Oh, just how can I start this game to get my team on the front foot straight away, because he's the big barometer. If he starts really well, the body language is really positive, and then his team just jumps on his back and follow him a little bit. But I think that also comes to Elmer Fudd, their captain. We spoke about it in the breakfast show this morning, that if he gets up and about, takes a really nice clunk early and can put it through, his body language just explodes and everyone just lifts with him.
Monty, just an interesting positional start. It looks like Willie Wheeler's going to start in the forward 50.
Yeah, something going on there. I'm not sure what's happening there, but with Harry Wheeler's out on this wing, so there's 2 different opportunities as well. But I think
Yarra's only got 2 midfielders with Lockie Howe.
Yeah, Dan Howe's there. Yeah, Dan Howe, Perry Lewis-Smith, and Michael Gibbons. So
let's quickly get some tips. Starting with you, Bobby J.
Yarra by 8 goals.
Brad Freak on the 40-wing stats.
I think Rovers are going to get them. I think Rovers close by under a goal.
Scott Montgomery, thanks to McRae Motors.
I picked them so I didn't get sprayed by Wendy Lester, but I'm going to stick with them. The Rovers for me, just.
Blake Panda-Escott.
Yarrawonga for mine.
Yarrawonga by 3 points. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the 2024 Ovens and Murray Grand Final. The stage is set. It's first versus second. Yarrawonga kicking to the left of your screen to the scoreboard end. The Rovers to the Hannah Street to the right of your end. Umpire Jeff Bassett has Sharon in hand. He holds it aloft. And Blake Panda-Escott will kick off the 2024 Grand Final for A-grade oils and batteries.
So it's Damon and Howe. Damon with the tap down, but straight to Bobby's man PLS, who sends the Pigeons forward. Boyd came off his man, tried to intercept for the Rovers. McCarthy was clean at ground level, off to Murray, shoots the hand pass out wide. O'Brien, bit of a worm burner. Fighting for that one down there was Osborne, and we're going to have a ball up. Fred Bassett says, give it to me. Far side, far wing. So the Rovers kicking to the Hannah Street end and the Pigeons kicking to the scoreboard end.
Just really interesting, really high forward line from Yarrawonga Pigeons. No one inside the front 30 metres.
So ball's gone out of bounds here. Call it true centre wing. Velodrome slide slightly into attack for the Wangaratta Rovers. Talk us through that positional start, Monty.
Yeah, I just feel with that win, they want to get it out the back and try and get a bit of leg speed with Jesse Koopman and Cam Wilson back towards goal, and Ben Kennedy as well.
Perry Lewis-Smith gets his hands on the footy in the 40-wing stat sheet, kicks Yarrawonga long down the Velodrome side wing, and a nice mark running back is the co-captain of the Wangaratta Rovers, Tom Boyd, who intercepts on the 50 arc into D50 for the Rovers.
Done that all year, Tommy Boyd, and I expect he'll try and do exactly the same today. Goes out wide, Murray. Howe came across for support, the big ruckman. And Fred Bassett again. Jeff Bassett says, give it to me. Far wing, a ball up the same place from about 30 seconds ago. So we've played around a minute and a half for NZ opening term. O&M Grand Final day. Mother Nature and the sun has come out to party. Scott Montgomery for McRae Motors.
Yeah, just trying to pick up where Harry Wheeler's gone. He's not on this close swing anymore, so he's just sort of wandered into this stoppage and he'll roll up. He's got Parnell with him for company at the moment.
All the play early on the Velodrome side. Damon's in the ruck. Feeds a handball out. Lockie Howe applies a nice tackle. Dan Howe gets in on the action. And we've got a free kick for McRae Motors, Monty.
Yeah, tackle. Lockie Howe just held on to that tackle a little bit too long after Catapan got rid of it, so free kick to Catapan on centre wing.
Expect to see Catapan play more midfield minutes today in his second game back in the side. He goes short, very short. Sam Murray on the 40-wing stat sheet for the first time this afternoon. True centre wing, Velodrome side. Kicks from a standing start. And the one-step kick. You get told as a junior, don't do it. Sam Murray kicks it out of bounds on the full Yarrawonga.
Hey, it's going to be a 50-metre penalty down the field, boys. Sam and Michael Gibbons were having a bit, and a little bit of a push and shove, and Gibbo definitely took a dive, but it's a 50-metre penalty being paid.
They were into each other a couple of centre bounces, ball ups ago as well, so just a little bit of watch there.
So the Did Simpson medalists from last year up against the superstar from the Rovers. And here's the Morris medalist from this year in Willie Wheeler, who's going to send Yarrawonga with a deep entry into attack. Over the head of Kennedy, falling to the ground there, the Rovers in Charles-led. Jack Kennedy went with the one hand. Wilson's shot on goal was smothered. Damon down there doing some defending. McCarthy as well shovels a hand pass out towards O'Brien. And here's Philo off half-back for the Rovers.
Brodie, not clean enough. Big crunching tackle applied, and it's a free kick. Michael Gibbons, hands on the Sharon for the Yarrawonga Pigeons in to inject them inside forward 50. High up and under. Lockie Howe fries across the pack, brings it to ground level. Casey busts through the pack, kicks on goal, and it's to the left-hand side for a minor score. So on the Steel Line scoreboard, the first score goes the way of Yarrawonga. It's a minor, and we played 3.5 minutes thanks to NZ Albury.
Looks like Wheeler and Murray matched up on the far side there, Monty, for Macrae Motors.
Yeah, just currently they are, but I think Dan Howell went up with Sam Murray, just looking at how they're trying to swap across there.
So the Team of the Year halfback, Xavier Allison, goes short to the Team of the Year winger in Brody Philo. Loves to go long, goes to centre wing, one-on-one between McCarthy and Urquhart. Big fist from Jordan Urquhart. Boundary side, Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yep, first lot of rotations are just about ready to go, boys. All the players are ready to line up. Osborne, Stone, Gatto's ready to roll, as well as Fothergill Wilson from the Yarrawonga side, so they're all ready to roll, ready to get into it.
If you just tuned in, Finn Osborne late in for Lockie McCartney for the Wangaratta Rovers. Catapan got held, umpire ignored it. Dan Howe on the left for the Pigeons, kicks up to half forward. Big one-on-one contest, and taking a good strong mark is Parnell. He feeds the ball onto Murray. Murray opts to go by hand. Tight pressure, nice work from Koopman defensively. Murray's going to want to find the boundary, puts Allison under the pump. Parnell for the Rovers, and the pressure from the Yarrawonga forwards is absolutely electric. They forced a boundary throw in 55 metres out from goal.
Yeah, just that handball to Sam Murray there, not the right option. He's running backwards towards the defensive goal. Couldn't see how well Yarrawonga had set up on the other side of the ground, and that's the way he wanted to exit 50.
Maybe just wanted to get himself into the game, Sam Murray, but it just wasn't the right time. Wheeler onto the big ruckman, Howe. Shallow kick, went one-handed, was Koopman. Perry Lewis-Smith onto Dan Howe. And the Pigeons strike first in the grand final. 100 games of AFL experience, and Dan Howe goes bang for a Sunjan goal today, Scotty Montgomery.
How good was that from Yarrawonga? Just so sharp and so clean there through the inside their forward 50, just by hand, and then Dan Howe was the one that got on there. But there was a lot of lead-up play. Perry Lewis-Smith was involved, Jesse Koopman as well, so they were really, really sharp there, and that's a dangerous sign for the Rovers, I feel.
Perry Lewis-Smith up to 3 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. He's had a couple of early clearances as well, and that set up that goal there to Dan Howe, who's also had the 2 disposals for Yarrawonga. Sam Murray having the 3 disposals so far for the Rovers, but an out of bounds on the full and an errant handball inside those 3 touches.
Yarrawonga lead the grand final thanks to Steel Line, 1-1-7 to the Rovers yet to score. Here goes Willie Wheeler, handball's trying to find Gibbons. This is nice from Yarrawonga, inside 50, centre half forward. Flying uncharacteristically was, in fact, a Wangaratta Rover. It was Jace McQuaid, brings it to ground level. Nice work from Kennedy. And Kennedy's wrapped up by Xavier Allison, will ball the ball up in the pocket.
So another couple of entries here for Yarrawonga. Inside 50s, Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, 4-0 favour the Pigeons.
I reckon they get to go in their own attacking half. Here's Gibbons, went to go with a left foot snap, dropped the footy. Rovers defending hard, and we have another boundary throw in deep in there. Defensive 50. Yarra with all the attacks, Scotty Montgomery, Macrae Motors.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just looks like Yarra have that unsociable edge about them today. They just know how to play big games. They don't care what happens. They will give that little bit of niggle all day, where the Rovers have just got to make sure they stand up to it.
Williams to do ruck work with Damon. Damon took it out of the ruck, put it on the boot. Brody Philo busts through the pack and goes a torpedo punt to exit D50. Setting up nicely is Mark Lou. Handballs it forward. Now Dylan Wilson gains some valuable territory for the Rovers. Nice pick up from Booth. Irvine come in and intercepted the ball, trying to find Ryan Bruce. Free kick, well spotted by Brad Freak. It's going to go the way of Yarrawonga, and 50. No, it's not. So Whooper Irvine, the recipient of the free kick across half-back for Yarra.
Low ball, looking for Perry Lewis-Smith, but Stu Booth did really well to come off his man and knock it over the line for a boundary throw-in right in front of a big contingency of Wangaratta Rovers supporters. Of course, their thirds playing the early thirds grand final, and the 17s are in the grand final as well. We've got a lot of support here in their first senior grand final since 2002. Ed Damon with another tap. Good tackle from Howe. Ed, you got to get rid of it. Yep, Bassett says holding the ball. And a free kick here to Lockie Howe on centre wing for the Pigeons. They leave 7-0 on the Steel Line scoreboard. First term for A-grade oars and batteries.
Almost 8 gone for NZ. Yarrawonga's pressure has been tenacious to start this grand final. Howe kicks to the hot spot for Yarrawonga. Williams lost his footing, and the umpires paid a free kick for Macrae Motors to Wangaratta Rovers.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a free kick to Lee Williams, but he's paid a hold against Lee Williams to Jason.
Crucial turnover from Allison, and jotting on the spot was Ben Kennedy. Only played the handful of games for Yarrawonga this year after dominating school footy for Xavier, and he'll go back and have a set shot from 45 metres out in a 45-degree angle.
It was the right option there from Xavier Ellison to try and find Charles Ledger, because that's how they kick their way out of defence when they're being under the pump a little bit. But Ben Kennedy, just Johnny on the spot, read it so well and cut it off, and should go back and put this one through, I reckon.
Ben Kennedy, the youngster of the Pigeons, right foot kick, looks good off the boot. It's Dead-Eye Dick! Yarrawonga have started this grand final hot. They lead 2-1-13 to the Rovers yet to score. That's on the Steel Line scoreboard as we go boundary side to Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, heavy, a lot of rotations now. All the big guns are coming off. Big Lockie Howe and Mickey Gibbons have come off for their spell, and this is the time for Damon to sort of stamp his authority in the middle. So, yeah, rotations are really quick here. The wind is a lot stronger than I first thought. So there's a lot of carry on the footy, and you've probably said up there, Monty, with the balls going inside 50. They seem to carry about 4 or 5 metres longer.
5-0 in the inside 50s in favour of Yarrawonga on the 40-wing stat sheet.
2 goals to Yarrawonga, none to the Rovers, but here's Sam Murray roving it beautifully. Sam will load up from 65 to a vacant goal square. Christie went one-handed, wasn't able to mark, and the Yarrawonga defence rush it through for a minor score. We saw that so many times last week. Damon down to Murray, and geez, they're quick out of the middle. The Yarrawonga Pigeons in their own defensive 50 go out to the Velodrome side. Wheeler onto Wheeler. How many times have they done that over there? Long careers as brothers, and here's Williams at half forward. Goes by hand to Dan Howe. Shallow entry inside 50. There's a bit of whistle kick.
Yeah, it's gone against Lee Williams, boys, for a bit of a push or a hold in the Shepherd against Lockie O'Brien.
And normally we can hear the whistles here at Lavington, but the crowd atmosphere is certainly absorbing that noise. Umpire's going to bring Sam Murray back on his line, Monty.
Lockie O'Brien just tried to kick it from about 10 metres around, and he's probably still not quite on his line, but the umpire says you can have that one now.
So Lockie O'Brien playing on the wing, and we got his numbers on the 40-wing stat sheet today, Bradley.
Yeah, 2 disposals to start this game for Lockie O'Brien.
Parnell between half-back and centre wing, kicks inboard, finds McCarthy. This is Will. Had a really good final series since coming into the senior side, Monty.
Yeah, he obviously missed out in that first final, but then they brought him in and he was fantastic and said that you can't drop me again, Sam.
Sam Murray kicks out wide for the second time today, out of bounds on the full. Yarrawonga will retrieve the footy between centre wing and half-back, Velodrome side.
Goals to Dan Howe and Ben Kennedy in this opening term for A-grade Alls and Batteries. A 13-1 lead on the Steel Line scoreboard to the way of the Pigeons. Ball on centre wing. Rovers with the numbers. Murray fakes a hand pass and then checks his kick beautifully. Finds Dill Wilson. Kicked 3 goals in the prelim final on centre wing for the Rovers. A lot of play on this Velodrome side of the Lavie Sports Ground. Wilson, another nice kick. This is good, methodical football from the Rovers.
Yeah, Dylan Stone. Yep. Dylan Stone just hit Willie Wheeler behind the ball. There was a little bit going on with him and Harry Wheeler, and Willie came in to help his brother out, and then he's just a little bit...
Took him to ground.
Yeah. So it's a poor turnover and undisciplined from the Wang Rovers as Wheeler goes long, looking for Williams. Kennedy with the crumbs. Got the goals in front of him. Left foot kick is in a hurry and it's out of bounds on the full. Great defensive play from Charles Ledger and the Rovers. And it's a free kick to the Rovers. In the back pocket, they trail 13-1, Gus McLeod.
They certainly do. Allison, he marks, are going to play on quickly. Jack Gerish across half-back, broadcast side for the Rovers. Raking right foot kick down the line. Lovell, big crucial fist. Brian Bruce is going to try and keep it alive, but it falls right in front of Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel boundary side.
There's plenty of noise out of the Yarrawonga bench, boys. There's a lot of coaches down here. That's not just the coaches themselves. The players are just so instructional to each other. They all know what page you're on, and they're all going in the same direction.
Kogel going up against Shane Gaston, the Frenchman. Give that one to Gaston. Murray handballs over the top. Dangerous. Now falls the way of Catapan. Got a hard bounce. Goes back in board. O'Brien tries to beat him off onto Stone. Stone kicks to centre half forward. Whooper Irvine's got the better of the bounce here. Holgate comes off the back for Yarrawonga. Right foot kick long down the line. Parnell takes an elite body and paint mark of the day and wants to attack the corridor for Wangaratta Rovers.
He's got Mark Lou on a searching lead. Ball just bounced in front of him. Fires out a hand pass to Murray.
It's a free kick. Johnny Mark Lou.
Yep, for a hole. Well picked up, Monty, for McRae Motors.
Against Harry Wheeler.
So the FUD right bang smack in the middle of the sports ground. There's a couple of short options. Goes out towards the wing. Garish meeting the sandwich. Good fish from Kennedy. And a boundary throw in at half forward for the Wang Rovers.
Bit more in the middle.
13-1.
Bit more in the middle here, boys. Harry Wheeler and Alex Marklew going at it.
7 disposals for Sam Murray on the 40 Winks stat sheet. Probably hasn't been his best ball use so far, but he's finding plenty of it early in this first term.
So a throw in here. Half forward for the Rovers. Haven't had much time in forward half. Gaston just nudges Cogill off the footy. Tries to get a kick away. Philo does. Barely the 15. Good fist from Logan Morey. Back inside defensive 50. Bounce favours Stewie Booth, who came through like a steam train. So did Whooper Irvine, but his clearing kick is smothered. And a bit of forward heat here for the Rovers. A boundary throw and inside attacking 50.
These are the instances today where Wangaratta Rovers need to take their chances. They need to make sure they can score from the limited inside 50s they're going to get with the defensive pressure that Yarrawonga's been able to apply so far.
Bailey Fraunfeld's got his shirt off, Bobby. We'll get you to monitor that one as the boundary throw-in comes into play. Rovers lurk everywhere. Hand on the ball was Stone. Now Gaston, the big ruckman, throws it on the right boot, top of the goal square, and Ed Damon out in front. Clunks one top of the goal square, and you'd back him in from here, Monty.
Yeah, absolutely. You ain't going to miss this one. But how good is that to be able to have the 3-prong attack in the ruck, and then you get different looks at full forward all the time. And Big Ed, too big, too strong right there, and should go back and put this one through.
Ed Damon for the Rovers first. Hannah Street end, point blank range, makes no mistake. The Rovers are on the board. 1-1-7 plays 2-1-13 thanks to Steel Line. And Ed Damon's got the first for the Wangaratta Rovers.
They've had all the play. Yarrawonga with the 6 inside 50s on the 40 Wing stat sheet. Rovers have only gone inside 3 times inside this first quarter, able to kick their first goal there. Sam Murray, as we touched on, already up to 7 disposals. Sam Catapan's had the 4, 3 disposals each for Lockie O'Brien and Brody Philo. For Yarrawonga, Willie Wheeler up to 4 disposals, 3 for Dan Howe and Perry Lewis-Smith as well.
What's a little niggle off the ball, Bobby Jackson, for the Newmarket?
Yeah, the 2 Wheeler boys seem to be getting under the skin of a few Rovers players, and they're pretty clear-minded in the way they're going about it, so they'll be right.
So a nerve settler for the Wangaratta Rovers, and Ed Damon, hasn't he been a pickup at the halfway point of the season? The Yarrawonga Pigeons tumble it forward, but here's Shaganolan. Nice left foot kick out wide. Finds Lockie O'Brien. Loves the far spaces on the wings. Goes short to Murray. Off a step. Shallow entry. Asks a lot of Alex McCarthy. Urquhart wearing him like a glove, and we have a stalemate at half forward. 55 out from the Rovers goal.
Just a quick update on Basil, boys. He just had a bit of back stiffness, and he had a bit of a rub, and he's right to go now. He's back in the rotations.
Bobby Jackson, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Wheeler was reefed off that footy by Catapan, and we have another ball up. 55 out from the Rovers goal.
Just for mine, Sam Murray's got to improve his kicking. He's had 4 chances now where he's just turned it over. 2 out of bounds on the full. That one there fell short. Just got to improve it.
I reckon it's a high tackle here, as the man you spoke about, Sam Murray, on the Morris medalist, Willie Wheeler. Willie Wheeler's numbers thanks to 40 Winks, please, Brad.
Coming up for his 5th disposal of the day.
Working himself into the midfield after starting forward. Kicks down the Velodrome side. Nice mark out in front taken by Cogill, who is in the ruck. Lock Howe is resting forward for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Cogill on the right. Kicks to the top of the 50. Williams ran underneath it. Whistle, free kick, going to go the way of the Rovers, Monty.
Yeah, just took him out there. Will McCarthy stood in the hole, and Lee Williams thought, I'll make him earn this, and he certainly did, and gave away the free kick.
It's not a hole I'd like to stand in, I can tell you that right now. As Philo comes out to the broadcast side, McCarthy used his positioning and his strength nice and early on Urquhart, takes a mark, hugs the boundary line. Elmafard bounces in front of him, retreats to Nolan. He's got an inside hand pass to Stone. They link up well here, the Rovers, down the broadcast wing. Elmafard chips it over the top to Booth. Where's Damon? Justin Lewis is providing an option in the pocket. And Stewie Booth just settles it. 50 out from goal. Waits for his charges to run back. Bit of a poor kick. It might work out all right. No, getting back and defending there is Harry Wheeler for the Pigeons. Shovels it out to Dan Howe. Has to kick on his left. It's a bit of a tumbler, but it lands to the way of Williams.
Cam Wilson, the recipient of the handball, kicks to space. 2 Rovers versus 1 Pigeon. Ledger looks to be on the treadmill a little bit with Kennedy hot on his heels. Well done, Ben Kennedy. Forces a stoppage. And Charles Ledger plays the safe game, taking it across the chalk, Monty.
Yeah, I don't think he was stuck on the treadmill. I think Ben Kennedy's just that quick. He was coming back very, very hard there, and that's the sort of defensive pressure. I love the way Ben Kennedy started this game. 17 minutes in, he's been fantastic.
Yarrawonga lead, 2-1-13 to the Rovers, 1-1-7 thanks to Steele Line in the first term. Nolan just got a kick away at the back of D50. Gibbons evades some pressure, throws it on the right, but the kick was poor. It's been turned over, and the ball's in the hands of Boyd, the co-captain for the Rovers, who wants to switch to the Velodrome side. Dangerous kick, intercepted now by Koopman. Whistle.
Played front on contact.
So it looks like it's going to be Will McCarthy is going to be the recipient of this one in the back pocket for Yarrawonga. 18 minutes gone in the first, thanks to NZ.
McCarthy only played a handful of senior games this year. Not a great exiting kick out of defence from O'Brien. A lot of shallow kicks from the Rovers in this opening term, and a boundary throw in far side.
On the 40 Winks stat sheet, 8 disposals for Sam Murray, 9 inside 50s for Yarrawonga, 4 for the Rovers inside the first 20 minutes of this first quarter.
8 disposals for Murray, but I reckon he's given away a couple of free kicks and kicked a few out in the full. Not a great start for him as Howe evades traffic and sends the Pigeons into attack again. Look at that fist from McQuaid, but it falls the way of Wilson at half forward. Hand passes to Koopman, under pressure. Beautiful little nifty kick. Finds Willie Wheeler 45 metres out. I reckon just maybe too far out to score for the Morris medalist.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, Panda. Right on his range. He got the kick from outside the paint. So with this breeze even, I still don't know if he's got it in him.
Looks like he's shaping up to centre it. He does that, kicks it into the pocket. Cokehill found some space when there was none. And Benny Cokehill will line up right on the paint. It'll take his best effort from here in front of the change rooms, the Lavington 2 Oval end.
Just the communication there from Willie Wheeler. He told everyone to come up. It created that little bit of a hole in the pocket for Cogill to find the space, and a nice lead and a nice hit too to take that mark right on the boundary.
So the boy from Rennie will go the Boonanana. Looks pretty ordinary. I reckon it's been marked in the opposite pocket. It has. It's been marked by Harry Wheeler. And now he will go with the snap from the opposite side as Benny Cogill.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tumble punt, wasn't it? He sort of hit the ball on its end, so it went end over end rather than be getting that curve on it with the banana. But Harry Wheeler, normally a nice finisher.
It's been a good week so far for the Wheelers. Kick on goal is across the face minus score. So the Pigeons move to 2-2-14. The Rovers 1-1-7 on the Steel Line scoreboard. We have played 19 minutes for NZ opening term.
Brad Freak, some 40 wing stats.
Yeah, 10 inside 50s to 4 in favour of the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Willie Wheeler, the Morris medalist, is up to 6 disposals now. Dan Howe's had the 5 for the Pigeons. As we say, Sam Murray's up to 8 disposals, 5 for Lockie O'Brien.
Koopman flew high off the Allison free kick, brought it to ground level. Now they're going to go inside forward, 50 via Morey, looking for Williams. Brought it front and centre. Nolan crumbs nicely.
Free kick.
Did I tell you what, I wouldn't mind hearing the whistles.
Yeah, no, it was a push in the back paid against Cogill on Nolan.
So Will Nolan between centre half back and full back for the Rovers. Umpire calls him to play on. Wants to come out to the grandstand side. Lockhouse there. Brings it to ground level. Damon leaves it for the runner in Garish. Garish inboard. Handballs to Stone. The 1-2's on. Garish puts Catapan under a lot of pressure. And the turnover's imminent here. Well done by Gibbons. Coming off the back of the pack is Murray. Busting his way through. Should be holding the ball. Umpire's letting it slide. Parnell's wrapped up in a tackle. And umpire Jason Rain is just going to throw the footy up and get the ball going.
No one's nominated at all for it.
No one nominated. Free kick and a whistle now. It's for a high, and it's going to go the way of the Wangaratta Rovers. And I reckon it's going to be Sam Catapan.
There's a bit going on with the ball too, boys. Dylan Stone just dropped Harry Wheeler, then Willie Wheeler's dropped Dylan Stone, and Harry's going to get the free kick against Dylan Stone here.
The Rottweiler brothers.
So a free kick reversed, I reckon, against the Rovers. And Harry Wheeler is bang smack in the middle of the sports ground. Goes wide to Pendergast. On to Morey. Inside 50. Front of the pack was Fothergill. Went one-handed. Koopman's in a dangerous position. Fights through two. And I reckon he's missed the unmissable. Jess Koopman has missed from the top of the goal square. He went the dribbler. Chief Dunstall wouldn't be happy.
How did he miss that,
hit the post. 2-3-15 the Pigeons. The Rovers 1-1-7 at the 21st minute mark opening term for A-grade oars and batteries.
He just had to walk it over the line, nearly, Panda. He didn't have to even aim. He was that close. It was hard to miss, but he did, and just lets Rovers off the mark. And then he's got to get the discipline back here, the Rovers. They're giving the footy back to Yarra way too easily.
Here's a go for Lewis. He overran it. Yarrawonga now via Lovell. Onto Willie Wheeler. Another 40 winks disposal. Williams in the hole. Left the ball for Fothergill. Yarrawonga under the pump as the Rovers arrive in numbers. Nice handball from Philo onto Sam Murray as they attack the corridor. Catapan needs a good bounce. Gets it. Evades a bit of pressure. Back to Murray. Centre of the Lavington Sports Ground. He's got an option out wide and he uses it. Lockie O'Brien, the former Blue, wants to find his left. dinky kick over the top's okay to Stone, who marks 55 from home. The overlap was on at 50 for McRae Motors. Scott Montgomery, talk us through it.
Yeah, so I think Dylan Stone initiated the contact with Dan Howe, and he just grabbed him, and the umpire said, nope, you can't grab him, mate, because he's trying to play on. 50-metre penalty against Dan Howe, and it will take him right into the goal square.
Dan Howe was clearly trying to stop the block and the overlap coming from Lockie O'Brien, but in the end, it's going to be marched to the top of the goal square, and Dylan Stone kicks the second for the Rovers. 13 plays 15. After a quarter, Yarrawonga have dominated. It's back to a 2-point ball game. Boundary side for the best pub in the world, the Newmarket Hotel. Here's Bobby Jackson.
Yeah, it's been a bit quiet down here, lads. The play's been on the far side, so not a lot of action in regards to players coming on and off. But there was a clash in the middle with Dan Howe and Sam Catapan. So just keep an eye on Sammy Catapan. Yeah, it looks like he's holding his ribs there, Monty. If you just keep an eye on that as well, I think he might be a bit sore.
15 plays 13. So the Rovers with the last two after the Pigeons strike the first couple of blows. And here they go again through Murray. Retreats to Parnell, the man from the NT. Surprised he's not wearing the long sleeve. Gaston did well. Garish got himself in a dangerous position. Had Booth on a lead. Fights through a contact onto Dill Wilson. Bananas it from 30. It comes back. Dylan Wilson with a Sunjan goal today. The banana came back beautifully, and the Rovers have got 3 on the bounce. 19 plays 15. Scotty Montgomery, McRae Motors.
Yeah, how good was that from Dylan Wilson? Just the running. There's no one went with him. He was able to find a bit of space, and again link up by hands for the Rovers. And for a quarter that has been dominated for 15 minutes of it by the Yarrawonga, all of a sudden the Rovers are back in front, and they're starting to get back into it.
6 inside 50s for the Wangaratta Rovers, 12 for Yarrawonga to continue that dominance. Of those 6 entries, the Rovers have been able to hit the scoreboard 4 times. And 11 disposals now to Sam Murray. Sam Catapan as well. He's up to 8 disposals for the Rovers in this first term.
Well called there by Brad Freak and Scott Montgomery on special comments and stats this afternoon. Another free kick. It's going to be an advantage here as Gibbons kicks inside forward 50, looking for Leroy. Dropped the chest mark as he dove. McCarthy, this is Will, kicks on the left, long down the line, trying to find Booth. Ryan Bruce was good, so was Willie Wheeler. Logan Morey now kicks to half forward, but the half backs, Monty, particularly Tom Boyd, are zoning off beautifully for the Wangaratta Rovers.
Yeah, Matt Casey's just got to do a better job of locating Tom Boyd, I feel, and play a bit more of a defensive role. He's getting way too high. Sam Murray's got out into a lot of space. They might need to start putting a bit of time into him too, as Brad Freak said, he's had the 11-40 winks already.
So boundary throw-in. Right in front of our commentary position, the best regional facility in Australia, the Lavie Sports Ground, hosting the 2024 SS&A Ovens and Murray Grand Final. So the Pigeons kicked the first 2 and the Rovers have kicked the last 3.
Falcon.
Or is a Falcon from Damon who tried to swat it forward. Philo, left foot kick, missed his target in Almafart, and Pendergast, the team of the year fullback, takes a nice mark in the centre square here of Lavington. He's going to go long and strong, and why not when you got big Leroy Williams. Was caught between 2 Rovers. Sitting under this footy was O'Brien. Tried to fight through a bit of contact. McCarthy got one high. He started this game really well as young McCarthy. He's got himself in a couple of dangerous positions, and he's won a free kick for the Rovers in defensive 50.
Yeah, I think he's been absolutely fantastic. He's standing up really well here and playing a bit undersized on Benny Cogill as well.
So at the 26-minute mark, looks like the Wangaratta Rovers are going to try and take the sting out of this quarter and just try and maintain this lead coming into the first change. First quarters thanks to A-grade oars and batteries. Mark Lou in the contest tries to get towards the boundary as Dan Howe's absorbed by 2 Wangaratta Rovers in a tackle, and will ball it up. Just slightly into attack on true centre wing here for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Damon and Howe in the ruck. Bit of a block there, I thought. Umpire Ash Broughton says no, and will ball the footy up once again. 19 plays 15. It's the Rovers over the Pigeons in the big dance. Gibbons has some space. Well done by Garish. Handball was turned over and cut out by Willie Wheeler, who kicks to Matt Casey. Water would have drowned him. Bring it to ground level. Nolan's there. Handball's over the top. Philo's getting busy. Clears defensive lines long down the line, and the Gaston brings it to front and centre. Mark Loop overran it. Whooper Irvine now for Yarrawonga. Just pinballing around. It's a hot footy. Alex Marklew kicks to try and gain a bit of advantage space. Perry Lewis-Smith inboard to the head, and now it's Michael Gibbons for Yarrawonga.
They've got a number out on the far side. It's Damo Wilson. Marks, but he doesn't have too many options inside attacking 50. Lee Williams will lead to the pocket. That's where the kick is. 1-on-1, too strong. Lee Williams said, "Get out of my way, Jace McQuaid." An elite body and paint marker today, and Leroy will line up for goal number 1.
It's first chance Big Leroy's had to really use his strength there against Jason McQuaid in the one-on-one. Every other time it's been sat on his head a little bit. McQuaid's been able to come through with his leap and punch it through. But Damo Wilson's kick there inside 50 was just too good, and Big Leroy should go back and put this one through.
27 minutes played for NZ opening term. So the coach for 2025, Big Leroy, comes in and he has kicked it shallow. Through for a minor score from Leroy. As the siren was short and sharp, but it ends a pretty good second half of the opening term for the Wangaratta Rovers. So the Pigeons kick a point on the quarter time siren. They go to 2-4-16. The Wangaratta Rovers 3-1-19. Stay with us on O&M Snapprint Solutions TV or on 2AY and 3&E. A big second term on the other side of this. You're listening to O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like?
Fridge broken down? Urgently need a new washing machine? Bing Lee offers next day delivery.
O&M Live on 2AY. With GoTo by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
The rumours are true. We're heading to the Riverina. That's right, fifth quarter camps is heading to Albury and Wangaratta this October. We'll be in Albury on Tuesday the 8th and Wednesday the 9th of October. We'll then be in Wangaratta on the 10th. Isaac and I will be bringing plenty of our teammates along for the journey. We can't wait to see you all there. Head to Fifth Quarter Camp's website for more details. See you soon.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
O&M Live on 2AY.
Welcome back to O&M Live. We'll cross boundary side to Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel. He's got Craig Edney, Yarrawonga's assistant coach.
Yes, Nat, as expected, they come hard at you early doors. What was Stevie's message out quarter time?
Yeah, look, I think Rovers were really, really good in that first quarter, and I think we probably let them dictate to us with their game plan. So they put uncontested footy, and they'd be really happy with that. And Stevie's message now is just we get back, win the contested footy, and try and forward pressure and keep the territory going.
Is there much in that breeze, do you think?
Oh, I think there is a couple of goals, but it's always swirly at Lavey. So, as I said, I'd say Rovers would be pretty happy with that, and hopefully now we've got to defend a bit better.
Best luck in the second quarter, mate. Just with the Rovers, Alma was very, very vocal as they come in. Just no free kicks, be a bit more disciplined. They're really focused on that the Yarra boys are trying to stir him up a little bit, so he was really vocal in that. They were very relaxed and focused on what they had to do, and they're pretty happy with the way they were executing through the middle. So it's all happening down here, boys.
Cavaliers Homes quarters best. Brad Freak, who caught your attention?
Yeah, for the Wangaratta Rovers, I'll start there. Sam Catapan throughout the middle of the ground. I thought that he was really a bit of a spark for him. Lockie O'Brien was another one as well. They didn't have a heap of touches, but you could just see his ball use and his calmness around the footy, especially earlier in that quarter, just to hit some targets, really stood out to me. For the Yarrawonga side of things, has to be the Morris medalist. Willie Wheeler had an outstanding start to this game as well, and I thought Michael Gibbons in the middle of the ground as well was really strong too. On the 40 wing stat sheets, as we touched on, there was a breeze going to Yarrawonga's end that first term, just weren't able to take full advantage of it, but they did have the 16 inside 50s to 6 and just didn't take advantage of it in that first term. Took 5 marks inside their forward 50. 9, as we touched on, 9 disposals for Willie Wheeler, 6 for Michael Gibbons. On the Rovers side of things, 11 for Sam Murray and 8 for Brody Philo and Sam Catapan.
Monty, who needs to work themselves into this game, do you feel?
Nick Fothergill. I want to see him get the footy in his hands. We know how damaging he can be, but he's obviously come back to the bench, started on the bench. He's on the bench now to start this second quarter. I want to see him get involved.
So the second term is underway for Jayco Albury-Wodonga.
Ed Damon and Locke Howe do battle in the ruck. Damon won the tap, but Yarrawonga prevail. It's Michael Gibbons to kick the centre half forward. Went through the mitts of McCarthy. Spills out the back. Sam Murray across half back for the Wangaratta Rovers on that booming left boot. Lewis on the lead and he marks. Almost lost his footing as he come down. He was on the lead pretty hard, Juzzy. Right foot kick, absolute shocker. Gaston's got some work to do. Whooper Irvine got a fingertip, tapped it over the crossbar, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in right in front of the scoreboard here at the Lavington Sports Ground, which reads the Rovers in front. 3-1-19 to Yarrawonga, 2-4-16, thanks to C&V Truck and Bus.
A lot of confidence heading into the second term for the brown and gold. They needed to be in front early. They needed to start strong as McCarthy dribbles one towards the top of the goal square. Christie in a tussle. Circling here is the fun. Has Christie kicked a goal? Extraordinary. Christie off the outside of the boot has dribbled one through with one hand. That is some finish from the big boy. Welcome back. First game since round 9 and the Rovers have a 9-point lead.
Geez, a bit of fluke in that. Not a bit of arse more than class, I reckon. But I'll tell you what, they'll take it, the Rovers. They'll take it every way they can on grand final day. And Will Christie, that's why they needed to bring him in. He's just such a big, powerful unit. He was able to lock up Matty Holgate there. He wasn't able to get involved. He was able to get his boot on and kick that goal.
Sam Murray already had an early disposal in his second term for the Wangaratta Rovers. Had 11 in that first quarter. Rovers, Pigeons need to probably put a little bit of time into him.
It was a little kick off the ground, Gussie. It was an absolute beautiful one. 9-point lead here. It's a game high lead too for the Rovers. As Locke Howe wins the free kick here for Yarrawonga for a ruck infringement. Locke kicks to centre half forward, needs some flyers. Good jukes from Kennedy. Out in front, Stevie J's a big rap for him, Monty, and he's proving a handful.
Yeah, well, so am I. I reckon he's been fantastic to start this game. I thought he was really good. Didn't get a lot of it in that first quarter, but just a couple of things he did was fantastic. And that mark there just shows why there's such high raps on him. Just got up at its highest point, nice strong jukes, and should go back and maybe kick Yarrawonga back in this game.
So this for 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of the second term. Ben Kennedy looking for goal number 2. 45 metres out, directly in front. Kick sits up in the breeze and is across to the left-hand side Won't trouble the scorers. Out of bounds on the full. 2.5 minutes gone for NZ. The Rovers have the ball in defensive 50 with Tom Boyd.
So Tom Boyd goes safe and short. Finds Sam Catapan. How many now, Brad Freak, for 40 Winks?
9 disposals for Catapan.
Goes short to Gerish. Likewise to Will McCarthy, the Bushranger, playing in the grand final with his older brother. Sort of laconically kicks to the wing. Not a great kick. Not a great kick at all. Looking for Charles Ledger. And we have a boundary throw in on the far side. Just forward of the wing, favouring the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They trail by 9 points. Haven't had said that too much in season 2024. The Pigeons are behind. Boundary throw in. Damon and Howe jostle. Wheeler with strength. His hand pass is intercepted though to Damon, who jams it on the boot. Long into the middle of the ground, and Pendergast takes a nice intercept mark. Elite body and paint mark of the day.
Wants to bring it out to the broadcast side. Morey wants to find the left. Does so now. Perry Lewis-Smith. Too much for him. Casey from a standing start throws it on the boot. They need some crummers here. Allison's there for the Rovers. Feeds it back to Parnell. Switches across goal. Sam Murray marks. Right foot kick, Brody Philo links up. We'll get Brody's numbers for 40 Winks.
Yeah, he's had his 9th of the game, Gussie.
And he feeds the ball out wide to Parnell, who's playing a pretty good game today, Monty.
Yeah, he's been fantastic to start this game, hasn't he?
Murray, off the back of half-back, kicks long down the line. Pendergast sits in the hole. Well done, Mark Lou. Front and centre. The Rovers want to kick inside 50. Christie went through the big mitts. Clever from the big ruckman in the Frenchman. Whooper Irvine's there. He's going to run the ball out of the back 50 and bring it out to our broadcast side.
He does. Bit of a sidewinder. It's been intercepted by O'Brien, and Ash Broughton has paid the mark. So O'Brien, 2 kicks from home. He's a long raking left foot. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Christie from behind. Brought it to ground. The Crummers are there. McCarthy went hard. Did he get Irvine high? I think he did. The umpire said play on, as Whooper just pushes Elmer Fudd over. A couple of great nicknames there, Whooper and Elmer. Now we have a ball up, 30 out from the Rovers goal. They were kicking with the breeze this second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga. Ryan Bruce amongst the action. Wilson fighting through a couple of Pigeons. And we have another ball up, another stoppage inside attacking 50. Those inside 50s, Brad Freak, 40 Winks.
Yeah, 3 apiece in this second quarter, but it was 16-6 in favour of Yarrawonga in the first term.
Ball up. Howe's in the ruck, feeds it down to Willie Wheeler. Wasn't on the same page as Lewis Smith. The Rovers have numbers. Philo needs a clean pick-up from a standing start, top of the goal square. Christie was leading. Philo had eyes to the goal. It's across the face for a minor score. 4-2. The Wangaratta Rovers move to Yarrawonga 2-4. And the kick-in duties from full-back will be with Ned Pendergast. Scott Montgomery from McRae Motors. I reckon Will Christie's been a good inclusion. He's giving him an option to kick too deep.
Absolutely, and it just gives him more flexibility going through the ruck, and who with Gatto comes off rather than having to rest forward, that sort of thing. So it gives them a chance to give their big guys in the ruck a really good chance to get their breath back before they go again for round 2 against Lockie Howe.
Casey came through and crunched the pack.
Looks
the hand pass from Koopman wasn't great. Boyd with a barrel onto Marklew. Unconventional, doesn't matter. Tom Boyd with a great entry, and Marklew playing in front will line up for goal number 1.
Really hard to defend that sort of kick going inside 50. Dropped really quick, but Marklew just way too quick. Read the ball best off the boot and was able to get there first. And there's been a couple of options they've had inside 50 when there's been guys loose and they haven't been able to take that opportunity so far, the Rovers. So Marklew needs to make sure he goes back and puts this one through.
He's a barometer, is Alex Marklew. Kick is a shank off the side of the boot. Does it stay in play? It doesn't. It's out of bounds on the full. He tilts his head back in disgust there, the Fudd. And no score to the Rovers, so they still lead by 10 points, 26-16. We have played 6 minutes for NZ, second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga.
We'll get Bob Jackson to keep an eye on Matt Casey. Looks to be okay now, but was a little bit ginger. Mark's been taken here by Urquhart. We might go boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel to Bobby J.
No, all good down here. It's surprising. One thing that's standing out for me is how calm the Wangaratta Rovers bench is. They're just calm and methodical and stay in control of what's happening out there from their point of view. So that's one thing that's really impressed me today is how calm and relaxed they are. And I think they're up to their eyeballs in this one.
Damon intercepted at true centre wing, and the Rovers are going to slingshot into attack. Murray kicks inside 50. Half volley for the Fudd. Now Perry Lewis-Smith links up with Michael Gibbons. They're going to come out to the broadcast side wing. Mark's been taken by Damien Wilson. Wilson plays on. Lewis-Smith's running machine. Well done by the Rovers, back 6. They stand up there. O'Brien gets amongst the action, and it's holding the ball. Tiggy Touchwood for mine. going to go the way of Catapan. I thought Perry Lewis-Smith was immensely stiff.
Yeah, I just thought you had that prior opportunity. I thought he was very stiff there. He fell to ground as soon as he got the ball and was set upon by 3 blokes. So, don't know where he got his prior.
All the little wins going to the way of the brown and gold, which is what you need on grand final day. They lead by 10 points for CMV Truck and Bus. Nolan's kick has been marked by O'Brien, right on centre wing. Broadcast side.
That should be 50.
It has to be 50. There's 2 people on the mark. The kick was shallow. Bruce in the hole for the Pigeons. Intercepts, goes back to Pendergast, who kicks in a hurry off a step. Big pack of players. Murray. Williams came late. Ball spills away at Cam Wilson, who was super clean at ground level. He was intercepted, though, by Catapan. His kick short to Gaston. Will cross boundary side to Bobby Jackson very soon. Irvine intercepts. His kick hit the back of his teammate. Spills the way of Damon in the middle of the ground. Toe pokes it out wide to Jack Gerrish, who gets rid of Fothergill. Hand passes it out to Stone. Oh, the heat's up in this one. The Rovers kick to half forward. It's intercepted by Howe. Shallow kick, but boundary side Bobby Jackson. Big story down below.
Yeah, the coach for the Wangaratta Rovers, Sam Murray's come off. I think he got crunched in that contest, and I don't think he was real happy with it. I think he was friendly fire, to be honest. He's not real happy. I think he's had the wind knocked out of him. He'll be right.
I think Lee Williams got him as well, but I think he was sort of alluding to the fact he wouldn't have minded a bit of support. Damo Wilson for Yarra in the Perry Lewis-Smith direction. Made a contest from behind. Nolan absorbed a big tackle. Here's a go for Catapan on the left. Brings it out towards our broadcast side. Big Ed Damon. Dropped an easier one. Running back with the flight. Regathers. Went the fend off. McCarthy over the top to Marklew. Now Brodie Philo on the left. Will Christie needs to smash this pack, and he doesn't. And it's a great mark running back by Dan Howe. Elite body and paint mark of the day. Kicks in board, and he finds Harry Wheeler.
Sam Murray back on, boys.
The pressure in this one. Scott Montgomery from McRae Motors.
This is what you want on grand final day, isn't it? 2 teams throwing absolutely everything at it.
Oh, Mo! The superstar! Leapt high did Sam and took an elite body and paint mark of the day. He stands on heads for fun. He's all right, Bobby Jackson. There's nothing wrong with Sammy.
That was unbelievable. He was hunched over here like he had the wind knocked out of him. Next, I think he's got me the one in the hip point of Monty, but looks like just the way he's moving. I'm just struggling for a view here. There's that many people in between me and the footy, but I think he's just got one on the hip pointer.
Yeah, I reckon he got that from Lee Williams a bit earlier on and just struggling to move it now.
Boundary throw in, half forward here for the Rovers. Kicked the only goal in this second term through Will Christie. And they still lead 26-16.
He's struggling here, boys.
Wonder if he can run it out. Bit of a corky, perhaps, Mon.
Send him the full forward if you need to.
We played 10 minutes for NZ in this second term. Urquhart comes through and kicks a hurried one to the wing. McQuaid was met by a big Perry Lewis-Smith tackle. Murray's hand pass wasn't great, and he straight away grabs his hip and runs to the bench to Sam Murray. He's not in a good way. Here's Cogill through the middle of the Lavey Sports Ground. Can it be marked by Kennedy? Was it a chop of the arms? It was. Free kick to Yarrawonga. 2 kicks from home.
So Kennedy, the recipient. No one within 30 metres of the goal, so he's going to have to kick shallow. Kennedy kicks out wide, trying to find Basil. Bailey Fraunfelder marks. And we can hear a bit of talk from Sam Murray as Fraunfelder plays on. Kicks into the pocket, Gibbons. Michael Gibbons marks, tied up in the pocket, but it'll suit the right footer to snap this one across his body.
Yeah, how good was that gut running there from Gibbo? See, he just had to put the ball down to try and just get his breath back, control himself. He'll obviously snap this one around, I feel, from Gibbo, but yeah, really big gut running from him.
Michael Gibbons, Yarrawonga need this one. Haven't goaled since the 8-minute mark of the first term, and Gibbo misses. So a minor score. Yarrawonga inaccurate, 2-5-17 to the Rovers, 4-2-26. That is on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Xavier Allison's got the kick-in duties.
Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, the Rovers midfield's right on top here. Sam Murray up to 16 disposals, Sam Catapan 12, Brodie Philo 11, Lockie O'Brien's had 10 disposals as well inside halfway through the second quarter. If you look at the Yarrawonga midfield, Perry Lewis-Smith only 6 disposals so far. Dan Howe's up to the 8, Michael Gibbons has had 10 as well. Willie Wheeler's really leading the charge from with 11.
Urquhart off a step, sends a wobbler into attack for the Pigeons. Gibbons puts himself in a good position. Loopy hand pass over the top to Fothergill, who almost gave away a free kick. Nolan stood up big time in this first half. Clearing kick comes to the wing, but it's all Pigeons. And Jordan Urquhart can settle things down here for Yarrawonga on the SS&A Cup logo. Kicks long into attack once again. Shallow entry. Good fist from Parnell. Falls the way of Gibbons. Shoots a hand pass out here to Morey. He'll want his left foot. Snaps from 40. Logan Morey brings it back, but it's been dropped in the goal line by Will McCarthy, who goes short, nice and safe to Dylan Stone. The Rovers still lead by 9 points, 26-17, Gus McLeod.
For Macrae Motors, Scott Montgomery, this is uncharacteristic from Yarrawonga.
It is. They look like they're the team that's under the pump, like what they were able to do to the Rovers in that second semi-final win.
Osborne just throws it on the boot, hoping for the best. Urquhart sits in the hole, gets a bad bounce. The ball comes back, Kogel. Now Yarrawonga via Gibbons. No one to really kick to in front of him, so he stops, props and retreats. And he comes out to Ryan Bruce, who marks between centre and centre half back. Kick was smothered off the boot by Lewis. He's going to have to do some work here. Philo got held there. Umpire let it go. Lewis retrieves. Kicks onto Alex Marklew. Got a kick to the one-on-one. Marklew, top of the goal square. Needs to find Christie. Wrong option from the FUD. Scott Montgomery, Macrae Motors.
Yeah, big Ed Damon and Brodie Philo were streaming inside 50 with no one within Kui. All he had to do was lower the eyes, the FUD, and he just didn't. Went for goal, went for glory, and just got to be better than that on grand final day.
Ryan Bruce coming off boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel, Bobby J.
Yeah, it looks like he's carrying an arm of some sort. I'll just keep an eye on that, boys. He's just sitting there. We might even be higher than that.
Yeah, that was a contest with Brodie Philo in the middle of the ground to win that ball back.
Sam Murray back out on the ground as well. So, an evenly poised game here. 10 points to the Wangaratta Rovers, 27-17. Only one goal in the second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga. Parnell, did he push Kennedy in the back? Umpire says no. Dylan Stone found a little bit of space when there was hardly any. That's what good players do. McCarthy started well. Retreats back to Parnell, who has to kick quickly down the wing. Lewis has been good with pressure. Palms it and then plies a good tackle on the Morris medalist, who got a hand pass free in the end. Loopy one comes the way of Damo Wilson. In the end, the boundary line wins out. Ran out of space to Damo Wilson, and we'll have a throw in far side right in front of the big Rovers crowd, Monty, for Macrae Motors.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, Michael Gibbons up to 7 disposals in this second term. Sam Murray's had the 6. Rovers have gone inside forward 57 times to Yarrawonga 6.
Second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga. Not a great display of skill so far. Right on cue, Michael Gibbons sells a bit of candy. Low chisler to Cam Wilson. Kicks inside 50. Kennedy once again. He is lighting things up inside 50 for Yarrawonga. He'll kick from 45 metres out directly in front.
Must have been a bit of miscommunication there, because Cam Wilson at that stoppage was standing at half forward all by himself, no one near him. So obviously a half back had rolled up to the stoppage, didn't stay with him, and then he was able to get involved in that link up and get it to Ben Kennedy.
Kennedy, his last kick from here went out of bounds on the full. Has he adjusted? He has for accuracy, but the distance might trouble him. It's touched across the line for a minor score. Yarrawonga moved to 2 goals 7 to the Wangaratta Rovers 4 goals 3. That's on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. 15 and a half minutes gone in the second term, thanks to NZ Albury.
Wasting a few opportunities here are the Pigeons, as Allison has had the kicking duties all year for the Rovers. Goes out to a contest with Ed Damon and Whooper Irvine, and Irvine for the Pigeons takes a nice mark. He's going to go into attack once again. Where's Williams over his head? Out the back, Koopman gets around one. Snaps from 30. Jess Koopman got the wrong bounce. It was the off spinner. He wanted the leg spinner. And it's through for a minor score. 27 plays 19. Make that 20. 4-3-27 to 2-8-20. On the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, Scott Montgomery, Macrae Motors.
Yeah, they're just going to make sure now the Rovers have been so good in this quarter. They're just going to make sure they maintain this pressure and don't let Yarrawonga score an easy one in the back half of this quarter.
O'Brien socketed off the ground to gain some yardage. They're out here. O'Brien gets a handball from McCarthy. Darts the eyes trying to find Lewis. Great gut running from Justin Lewis, and I reckon he's within range here. Lockie O'Brien says, go back and have your set shot. 45 metres, maybe 40 metres on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, I think when he first delivered to O'Brien, he was yelling at him because Mark Clue was in the middle of the ground all by himself to turn quickly, but it was good work by Pendergast on the mark just to hold him up and made Lewis be the guy that has to go back and have the shot on goal.
So this to bring it out to a 14-point lead for the Wangaratta Rovers. Justin Lewis looks good off the boot. Does it hold its line? It does! Sunjan Galvin to Justin Lewis. Coast-to-coast footy from the Wangaratta Rovers. And the Rovers lead the big dance by 14 points for CMB Truck and Bus.
Lockie O'Brien up to 12 disposals now in the game on the 40-wing stat sheet. You just see his class around the footy at times. Just that extra bit of time he has out there. I think he's been a real calming influence on the side today. Sam Murray, as we touched on, up to 17 disposals in this first half. He's been everywhere for the Rovers. Yarrawonga, on the Yarrawonga, Michael Gibbons is up to 8 disposals in this second term, takes him to 14 for the game.
5 in a row for the Wangaratta Rovers, who have got some serious momentum in the Ovens and Murray Grand Final. Haven't been here for 22 years. Their supporters have come out in numbers, and they're certainly providing a real contest here. And another ball up right in the middle of the ground.
This is what we wanted, bud, isn't it, Panda? A nice, close grand final.
Absolutely. Damon onto Catapan in a hurry. His hand pass was intercepted. Irvine goes long to half forward. Williams has been well held by McQuaid. Williams wants a free kick. Fothergill haven't sided him much. Hand passes to Williams, swings it around the corner. Well done, McCarthy. Did really well, and then applies a tackle on Fothergill. Had some big moments, young Will, in this game, Monty, for Macrae Motors.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, Will McCarthy. I think he stood up, and that's why they brought him in for that second week of finals. He's been absolutely unbelievable since he's been back in this side.
Ash Broughton balls it up. Bit of a stoppage and scrimmage here. Murray gets a toe poke into the middle of the ground looking for Marklew. Spills out the back. Pendergast mops up nicely. Perry Lewis-Smith fumbled but kicked to Fronfelder. Wasn't 15. Cam Wilson shovels it out wide, trying to find Cogill. On to Basil. Now's the go for Morey. Standing start, Logan Morey. Got it! Just what the doctor ordered for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. They kicked their first goal since the 8-minute mark of the first term, and it comes via Logan Morey.
Yeah, they definitely needed that one. That was a run of 5 goals going the way of the Rovers. It's just been broken there from Logan Morey. His gut running has been great all day. He's getting back and helping defensively, and he's popped up a couple of times inside 50, but that's his first major, and they'll need him to continue that on to be able to stay in this game.
Get a bit of reward. They've had 10 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet in this second term. That's 26 for the game, and to be able to get their first goal in this second quarter, they needed that bit of reward.
33 plays 25 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. The Rovers lead. The Pigeons breaking a run of 5 straight. Back in the middle, fighting hard there was Wheeler of the Willie variety. And we'll have a ball up again. Bang smack in the middle of the sports ground, repeating the Pigeons are the A-grade netball champions for Ray White Rural. Beautiful tap ruck work there from Howe onto Wheeler. A high floater into attack. Williams came late. Well done there from Parnell. Evaded some traffic, and his left foot kick is out wide, favouring the Velodrome side. Booth overran the football, and Irvine, who's been steely in defence for the Pigeons, sends into half forward. Cogill climbed high. Perry Lewis-Smith just fumbled it. Has to try and run away from Allison. Leads into the pocket to Fothergill. He's got no one in front of him, but the ball doesn't sit for him. And then the Rovers pressure over the boundary line. It just wouldn't sit for Fothergill. It hasn't been a great half for Nick. We've got a boundary throw in right next to the point post. 33 plays 25. Yarrawonga end of the ground. They trail by 8 points for CMV Truck and Bus.
Dan Howe was standing there for a handball receive too. If Perry Lewis-Smith might have been the better option, he probably would have broken the 50 and had a shot on goal.
A few Yarrawonga players uncharacteristically making crucial errors.
Fumbly Gus.
Absolutely. Nice tackle applied by on Shaganolan. And we'll ball the footy up. Looks like Jesse Koopman at the bottom of that pack. 20 minutes gone here. 7-point ball game. The Rovers lead the Pigeons. Perry Lewis-Smith left it behind. Philo. Little dinky kick exits D50. Garish has to be clean. Onto the captain in Marklew. Fed it to Stone. It's fumbly, but the pressure's good. Great tackle from Willie Wheeler. It was an absolute bone cruncher. You felt the thud up here in the box.
He's sore now.
That's 2 hits in a couple of weeks for Catapan.
And I reckon the Yarrawonga Pigeons know that. They might be starting to target him. Well done by Stone. Wasn't on the same page as Marklew. Now Gibbons for Yarrawonga. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Spills out the back. Selling a bit of candy is Koopman. On the right boot. Koopman across the face. Had Cam Wilson going past for the handball, Monty. Seems to be a common theme for Macrae Motors.
Does. They all want to be the glory hunters at the moment for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. He's got to give those first gears, but that's his third behind Jesse Koopman. He's looked lively. He just hasn't been able to hit the big sticks yet.
33 plays 26. 7-point ball game, the Rovers lead. Half time, bearing down on us here at the Lavington Sports Ground in the second term. It's been marked out on the far side by Tom Boyd. Defensive side of the wing. Hugs the boundary line. McCarthy, really good mark out in front of Tyler Lovell. Says, boys, let's just quiet down here. Kicks it into the man of the mark. And it's boundary side, boundary throwing out there. Bobby Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel.
I've just been watching Sam Murray the last couple of minutes, and he's playing deep forward alongside Will Christie. I just think he's still labouring with that right hip, boys. Just keep an eye on that, Monty, at your left eye.
We'll have to watch him, particularly after half-time as the body cools down. Howe took it from the ruck, kick to Kennedy at centre-half forward. Gibbons inside 50. Silver service to Willie, who's playing one out in the goal square, and Scott Montgomery from McRae Motors gives it a round of applause.
The first time they've set up with a full forward in the goal square, and I don't know why they've done it today, but all their forwards are starting 35, 40 metres from goal. First time Willie Wheeler started in the goal square and they get a lead-up mark inside 50, so might be some method to this madness and having Lee Williams play deep maybe.
The Morris medalist to bring the margin back to a solitary point. Right foot kick from Willie. Falls across the face for a minor score. It's an even one-goal ball game, and Yarrawonga are kicking horrifically. 3 goals 9, I should say, to 5-3 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
One straight kick, the difference here in the grand final. 33 plays 27 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Xavier Allison, Mosley out of the defensive goal square. Damon got the 2 dukes and wasn't able to mark. Marklew swings it around the corner to the centre wing. McCarthy just edges his opponent underneath the footy. And a free kick has been given away by McCarthy to the way of Whooper Irvine, who's had some moments in the second quarter. I reckon he's been Yarrawonga's best. Goes long to half forward. Cogill tries to climb the mountain. Came down pretty hard. Wheeler, left foot kick. Does it stay in play? It doesn't. Boundary throw in, 35 out from Yarrawonga's goal. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, 14 inside 50s in this second term for Yarrawonga. 8 to the Wangaratta Rovers. Michael Gibbons up to 11 disposals. Takes him up to 17 for the game.
Yarrawonga 3-9-27. The Rovers 5-3-33. Boundary throwing deep into attack for Yarrawonga. Philo breaks away from the contest but lost his footing as he tried to gather. Well done by Osborne. Got it out to O'Brien. Now to Marklew. Keeps the football moving forward. McCarthy's got some work to do. Gibbons on the non-preferred. Finds Ryan Bruce with a left foot kick. Bruce, still plenty happening off the ball here as the umpire calls Ryan to play on inside forward 50. The mark by Koopman. Tied up in the pocket, and the man who's kicked 3 behinds will have his most stable opportunity to kick a set shot. 35 metres out, pretty tight angle. It'll favour the right footer.
He's looked their most likely for today is Jesse Koopman. He's been quite lively ground level and also in the air. He's been one of the guys that's been able to get up, hit up really well. So he just needs to make sure now he goes back and just settles the nerves a little bit, I think.
The 3 behinds will be in the back of his mind as he starts his approach. Jesse Koopman to the Hannah Street end. Right foot kick across the face. 4 behinds to Jesse Koopman. 10 to the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 3-10 plays 5-3. It's a 5-point ball game on the CMV truck and bus.
Kicking themselves out of it at the moment, the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Uncanny. As Allison once again out of defence. Big pack of players. Cokill takes a lovely mark between a couple of Pigeons. Had some good moments as the boy from Rennie. He's going to give the hand pass off to Gibbons, who ran around from the receive. Left foot kicks a shallow one. Oh, good crunching contest there between a Rover and a Pigeon. One of them was Wilson. I reckon the other one was Catapan. It was. As the siren sounds to end half-time. And a great first half here in the big dance between the Yarrawonga Pigeons and the Wangaratta Rovers. And the Yarrawonga Pigeons trail, I reckon, for the first time at half-time in a very long time in the Ovens of Murray. 3-10-28 to the Rovers, 5-3-33. A great half from the Brown and Gold. Stay with us. Our half-time show for Elders Rue will keep you company as a great tradition continues here in the SS&A Ovens of Murray. The Jets are coming out for the half-time performance. They're playing the North Albury Hoppers. Stay with us, because on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be?
AT Jones, your local Onga specialists for all your irrigation needs. Kia was
Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science. With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
The rumours are true. We're heading to the Riverina. That's right, fifth quarter camps is heading to Albury and Wagga Wagga this October. We'll be in Albury on Tuesday the 8th and Wednesday the 9th of October. We'll then be in Wagga Wagga on the 10th. Isaac and I will be bringing plenty of our teammates along for the journey. We can't wait to see you all there. Head to fifth quarter camp's website for more details. See you soon.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Grand final edition of the halftime show for Elders Rural. And you can just hear there, Bobby Jackson is pulling the microphone out of the back pocket as he's stuffing his face with cake from the halftime catering going on. But if you're just joining us, it's been a ripping first half. A very low scoring one. It's 5-3-33, the Wangaratta Rovers leading. Did I say Yarrawonga Rovers then?
I think you did.
Yeah, I did. Wangaratta Rovers and Yarrawonga Pigeons 3-10-28. Thanks for that, Treno, back in the studio. But it's been a ripping game. It's been a physical game. We've seen Yarrawonga have probably put a bit more physical pressure into it. And the Rovers have been able to stand up so far. And they're really stretching the Yarrawonga defence with Christie playing out of full forward. Then Damon goes there, then Gaston. So they're definitely trying to stretch them at all times. But at the other end, we see that they're very high up, the Yarrawonga forwards. They're playing from 35 to 50 out. They're not really playing a deep forward, which is probably really interrupting their goal scoring opportunities, Bobby.
You'd almost think that they've flipped the game plans from the second semi-final where Wangaratta Rovers are coming out with different looks for the Yarrawonga defence, and it seems to be working. The Whooper Irvine's been caught up on Shane Gatson for a little bit there, and that's giving them a bit of a headache, I suppose. And playing Will Chrissy so deep, you're right, it just stretches the ground a little bit and gives them a different look, and their defensive mechanisms have to adjust. But the Wang Rovers are throwing everything at them at the moment, and that's what you want in the grand final. To be in front at half time in a grand final, they take that every day of the week.
Yeah, just quickly go through our goal kickers. All singles: Dylan Stone, Dylan Wilson, Will Christie, Ed Damon and Justin Lewis for the Rovers. While over for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, we had Dan Howe kick one in the first quarter and Ben Kennedy, as well as Logan Morey with the sole goal in the second quarter for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. We might quickly have a look at our 40-wing stat sheets. Brad Freak, what are they telling us? The team stats, why the game sits where it is, and then we might go through the individuals, please.
Well, the team stats are telling you that Yarrawonga should be in front by a long way. They've had 32 inside 50s to 14 in the first half. They've completely dominated the ball inside their forward, get the ball into their forward ends of the ground. Yeah, Rovers have had 8 shots when they've gone inside 14 times. The Pigeons have had the 13 shots inaccurate kicking. So inaccurate kicking with plenty of ball going inside their forward 50 has been the main reason as to why they are behind. They've taken 11 marks inside their forward 50 as well. So they've been really good, the Pigeons, in finding the targets that they need. They just haven't been able to convert in front of goals just yet. If we have a look at the possession getters on the 40-wing stat sheet, Michael Gibbons had 13 disposals in that second term. He's up to 19 for the game. Willie Wheeler, the Morris medalist, had 16 disposals. They're the leading disposal getters for the Pigeons. On the Rovers side of things, Sam Murray's also had 19 disposals. But the midfield of the Rovers probably getting a little bit more of the footy. 13 disposals each for Lockie O'Brien, Brody Philo and Sam Catapan as well inside the first half too. So the ball winners for the Rovers are getting their hands on it a little bit more. And it's probably why when they've gone forward, they've looked a little bit more dangerous than what the Pigeons have so far in this game.
And I think Monty hit the nail on the head, particularly in that late in that last quarter. When they had a target coming out of the goal square in Willie Wheeler, they've actually looked their most dangerous. Prior to that, they were playing a high brand of footy, and it just wasn't working for them. Lee Williams is probably going to be more of a threat 10 to 15 metres outside the goal line rather than across half forward. If you ask Sam Murray where would you rather him be, you'd rather him up the ground a little bit so you can expose him on the flip side.
Ask Jason McQuaid where you'd rather him be. I bet you he doesn't want to go stand in the goal square next to him, does he? He wants to be up the ground and being able to just stand off and then try and get him on the lead and come over the top, which is what he's done quite a bit today. And we saw in the first quarter when Lee Williams was able to go one-on-one with him in a bit of a battle, he was just too strong for him, took that really strong mark. So it's one of those ones, isn't it? I just feel that Yarrawonga are trying to maybe be a little bit too smart for themselves. They just need to go back to what they've done all year, I think, and set up the way they set up with a big key forward out of the square and then set up around him basically. But at the moment, I just think, they're trying to be a little bit too cute around the ground.
Exactly. And Mr. Ed in the middle, he's probably close to one of the better players on the ground. He's just given the midfielders first crack at it, and he's getting his own clearances as well. So, the setup and the way they're going about it today, they've really gone to school and utilising those 3 talls. We've seen so many times teams being too tall. Well, these guys are too tall and it's working for.
Can't be too tall on a day like today, I don't think.
No.
But we might quickly talk about best players. We won't go to our McRae Motors quarters best for that second quarter. Brad Freak, and who have you got for us?
Yeah, well, Michael Gibbons definitely for the Pigeons. I think that he's been one that's really been able to keep the ball going forward for him, and he's probably a pretty big reason as to why the Pigeons are still in this game. His work in and around the contest, and when he gets on the outside, we talk about Willie Wheeler playing out of the goal square late in that quarter, taking a mark inside forward 50, but what about the delivery from Michael Gibbons to him as well? I thought Lockie O'Brien for the Rovers in that second term really showed his class. He's had a lot of poise around the footy today, I feel. You see that the Rovers, especially early, they had a few players that were, a little bit hyped up because it's the grand final, the occasion, where I felt like Lockie O'Brien was a real stabiliser for him. Just when he gets the footy, you're pretty confident he's going to make the right decision, use the ball well. Sam Murray early got a lot of it, but he had a lot of turnovers, tried to probably play a little bit too fast, where Lockie O'Brien's just played at a nice even pace, I feel like, throughout this first half, and he's had the 13 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet as well.
So how many Sam had for that first half, sorry?
He's had 19, he had 11 in the first term.
Yeah, see, I feel probably half of them are wasted today. I think he's turned over a fair few, he's kicked 2 or 3 out of them full, so...
That's what I was going to say, probably his first 5 or 6 disposals, he probably had 3 or 4 of them, were a couple out of bounds on the full, in their defensive 50, probably the wrong handball, put his defenders under pressure. I feel like as the game's gone on, he's worked into the game a lot more. His first kick in the second quarter was outstanding out here to Justin Lewis. So we just know that his class will rise to the top. But it's a grand final. Everybody's going to get nervous. It's just once they settle, that's when you know they're going to be on.
And Bobby, there seems to be a few injury concerns, Sam Murray being one of them for the Rovers.
Sam Murray, it will be interesting to see where he starts and where he plays. And he might give one more last crack, Monty, after half time. And if he doesn't work, he'll play deep. He may come out of the goal square alongside Will Christie. Baz will come off with a sore back, but I think he's okay. He had a bit of a rub and come off. Ryan Bruce come off with what it seems to be a shoulder. I think he might have just copped a bit of a rough. I think you said there was a contest just here. So yeah, and Sam Catapan, he's been bashed, but he's still out there. He's a tough little bugger. So and I think they'll try and target those fellas. But it's a high contest. It's scrappy at times, which means it's going to be a high contact game. So. It'll be interesting to see if it opens up in this second half. If it doesn't, well, there's going to be some more casualties.
Well, the one thing I wanted to touch on, we spoke a lot about in the pre-game and the build-up about Will Christie and him coming to the game a little bit underdone. Had a little bit of in first quarter, didn't really seem that second quarter there in periods. Kicked a goal. I don't know how he kicked it, but he had a little bit more impact on the game. And we talk about the big inclusion for Yarrawonga and Nick Fothergill. I'm obviously not doing any stats today. I reckon he would have touched the ball maybe once or twice. He's really been a non-factor in this game so far.
Damien Wilson as well, I reckon, has only had the one or two as well.
Yeah.
So
Yarra, they'd have more players down than up, that's for sure. They'd be pretty disappointed with some of their output with a lot of their players. And they'd only need probably half of those to turn around, and then they're back in it and playing some really good footy. So they'll want to come out and hit the ground running in the second half.
Just on the 40-week stat sheet here, I got Harry Wheeler only had 1 disposal in the second term, up to 6 for the game. Dan Howes had 8. Perry Lewis-Smith's only had the 8 disposals as well. Some prime ball winners for them to really get back into the game. I mean, if you're Stevie J and the Pigeons coaching staff, you look, 32 inside 50s, you've had 13 shots at goal, you're only a goal down. Some of your better midfielders haven't had a lot of the footy. There's plenty of time still left in this game. So there's still a lot, as you say, Bobby, there's a lot of positives there for the Pigeons to take into half-time, even though they are behind on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As far as where we sit right now, there's a lot more upside in the way Yarra playing. In Rovers, they're throwing everything at Yarra at the moment, and they've just got to keep riding the wave that they've got going at the moment. And the game could well and truly open up, and Rovers want to be there with the whips cracking when it does.
Absolutely. As they can just keep their nose in front, it just gets you a little bit more nervous the later into a game, I feel, if you're the team behind. That, are you going to get there? Are you going to get there? If they keep responding with goals after you've kicked one. So it can definitely start to play on the mind if they can't just get back in front and maybe blow the Rovers off the park in 10 minutes of footy, which we know Yarrawonga are more than capable to do. If they get everything going their way, as you said, there's 5 or 6 ball winners in their team that just haven't gone near it today. And if they get rolling pretty quickly altogether, it's going to really change the reflection of this game pretty quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. You've nailed it there, mate. And the boys have called the pants off it, so it's all set. We're all set for a pretty good second half. So I'm looking forward to see what they come out with and what looks like they give each other in the second half.
If you are just joining us, it's the Elders Rural halftime show for Ovens and Murray SS&A Ovens and Murray Grand Final Day. At halftime, it is 3-10-28. The Yarrawonga Pigeons trailing the Wangaratta Rovers 5-3-33. Righto, boys. Let's put our coaching hat on. What are the moves we're going to swing if we're Stevie J? We've spoken about some structural stuff, but is there a positional change there might be out there that might just get them going their way again and back to the Yarrawonga Pigeons footy we know and we've seen for the last 2 years?
I'd start Nick Fothergill. He started both quarters on the bench. I'd say, right out here, let's go, let's get into it. And I'll put him right in the hot spot and say, let's go. I'd be asking more out of Logan Morey and Basil a little bit on the wing, as we see
It's gone end-to-end. Elvis went end-to-end, kicked it to the guy in the wheelchair in the O&M Jets game, and he's kicked the goal from the goal line.
Fantastic.
So that's fantastic, isn't it?
We're all a bit distracted there. But I'd be asking for a general lift from most of the players in the Pigeons change rooms, whereas the Rovers, maybe Sam might have to start out of a goal square alongside Will Christie, and that gives the Yarrawonga defence another look, and they got to be careful and have their matchups right there.
Yeah, I think the Rovers is probably more of the same of what they've been able to do. Probably want a little bit more forward 50 ball going into their forward 50. They've only had the 14 inside 50s, but they've got their noses in front on the scoreboard, and that's the main thing. Be interesting, Bobby, once you get back down on boundary side to see if that breeze is still out there, because obviously the Pigeons are going to go with it in this third term. So they call the third quarter the premiership quarter, but it could be a big reason if they can get their game going with the breeze. They can have a real big impact on this third term.
Yeah, well, they definitely need to make a move. They're the side that needs to improve out of the two sides they're playing today. But we're all the umpires are back on the ground, so we're not too far away from kicking this next second half off.
Yep, and that's the end of the Elders Rural halftime show. The last one for 2024. We'll be back after this break with all the second half action in this great grand final we're witnessing here at the Lavington Sports Ground on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. .0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
The rumours are true. We're heading to the Riverina. That's right, fifth quarter camps is heading to Albury and Wangaratta this October. We'll be in Albury on Tuesday the 8th and Wednesday the 9th of October. We'll then be in Wangaratta on the 10th. Isaac and I will be bringing plenty of our teammates along for the journey. We can't wait to see you all there. Head to Fifth Quarter Camp's website for more details. See you soon.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Welcome back to the Lavington Sports Ground. Both teams are now out on the ground, and the Rovers hold a 5-point lead going into the second half. We might take this opportunity to go boundary side to Bobby Jackson. He's back out on the SS&A Cup logo on the wing in front of us. Bobby, what's that wind like out there on the ground?
Yeah, it's still blowing to the scoreboard end. Not as strong as it was early doors, but there's still a little bit in it. So
2-3 goals?
Oh, yeah, probably 2 to 3 goals, yeah. So Yarra need to to make the most of it nice, and not that they rely on the wind, of course, but that certainly helps them get back into the game and play a better brand of footy. So I'm just looking out to the west, that the clouds are still there, but it doesn't look like they're going to bank up for any type of rain. So I think we'll be clear for the rest of the day. So I'm just looking at the Yarra boys coming off the field. Young Harry Wheeler's coming off as well. So looks like Nick Fothergill will start. Monty, that we asked for a lift out of him, so he's obviously starting on the field this second half, and Will Christie's going deep. And I'm just watching to see where Sam Murray's
going straight in the middle. I reckon he's right next to Damon there. So
having a mouthful, Monty, are you?
No, I'm good now.
You good now? Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of mouthfuls, how's the cake, Bobby?
Yeah, it was magnificent. Why? Didn't you get any?
No, I missed out.
Sorry, mate.
I reckon that means he had more than one slice when he says sorry.
Absolutely.
That's a guilty man down there.
There was one for all of us, and Bobby J said, thank you, I'll have a double.
What sort of cake was it?
It was nice. I don't know what it was.
I reckon it was a carrot cake of
I
some
do
sorts.
like a good carrot cake.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Wouldn't know. None of us got any.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Build a bridge.
Second half's about to get underway. The score at present is Yarrawonga 3-10-28 to the Rovers 5-3-33. Umpire Jason Rain just ensures all spectators have departed the venue. Umpire holds the Sharon O'Loughlin for the locker room at the SS&A. Blow the siren because the third term's underway with Blake Penderescott.
So, all right, over to you, Yarrawonga. What have you got for us? As Sam Murray breaks away with strength again, and the siren sounds strange. Philo lets sail from 55, top of the goal square. Christie sticks the big long mitts up, and Will Christie will go back for goal number 2, and the perfect start to the second half for the Rovers.
How good was that? Murray gets involved, Philo gets involved, and the man we've spoken about, was it the right call to bring in? Absolutely it was. When he can stand up and take contested marks like that, you play these guys every day of the week, and he's going to go back from the top of the goal square and put this one through.
Hasn't played a game since round 9. Almost 3 months of footy. And he's going to kick goal number 2. He sneaks it in. He makes the goal umpire work. It doesn't matter. And the Rovers get the perfect start of the third term. They extend the margin back out to 11 points.
Yeah, a couple of early disposals there for Brody Philo and Sam Murray. First centre clearance in this third quarter as well. One inside 51 mark, one goal. Pretty simple stuff when you can get the ball moving like that for the Wangaratta Rovers.
So back in the centre here, Will Christie, the goal kicker. Ed Damon's in the ruck. And this three-man ruck forward duel of Damon, Christie and the Frenchman Gaston is paying dividends early for the Rovers. 90 seconds gone for NZ. Will ball the footy up, smack bang in the middle once again. I reckon the Rovers have got the magnets right, Monty, so far.
Absolutely, they have. They're coached a lot better than I think Stevie J has in the start of this game.
Damon, front spot in the ruck. Murray just smashes it forward. Marklew tries to follow suit. Damon inside 50. Gaston dropped the ball in the gully. Off half back is Urquhart. Kicks out wide, trying to find Dan Howe against Lockie O'Brien, the two AFL players. Here's another AFL player in Gibbons. Got the handball away in the nick of time, and it's a hold, I think.
Free kick to Gibbons. There's a bit going on.
And Gibbons has thrown one back here.
Threw more than one.
Absolutely he did. So the former AFL player is getting stuck right in. Mason ringed the emergency umpires, injected himself into the game for no reason.
Get off, Mason.
Get off the ground, Mason.
What's he doing out there?
And the ball's been intercepted by the Rovers at half-back. Ball's in the hands of Parnell, plays on, goes with a mongrel punt long down the line, slapping it forward, leaving it behind. Marklew on Pendergast. Well done, Perry Lewis-Smith. Did he give away a free kick? Umpire said no, we'll bring the football back into play, slightly into attack for the Wangaratta Rovers centre wing.
So a boundary throw-in and the early blow here to the way of the Rovers in this third term for the locker room at the SS&A, the Border's #1 sports bar. Here's Catapan, opposite side of his boot, onto Marklew, roving the pack beautifully. Little tumbler inside attacking 50. A genuine one-on-one between Christie and also Holgate. Irvine provides support for his defence. Kicks towards the wing. Oh, well done, Boyd, with another intercept mark, and he sends the Rovers straight back in. Gaston out the back. Here's Marklew. Can he sock it off the ground? Lewis can! Marklew missed, but Lewis didn't. Justin Lewis with his second. What a start to the third term for the Rovers. All of a sudden, it's a 17-point ball game.
How big was that mark from Tommy Boyd to get it back inside 50 there? And Justy Lewis, Johnny on the spot. Marklew tried to kick it out of the air, wasn't able to get a toe poke on it, but Juzzy Lewis Absolutely fantastic. He provides so much pressure for this team, and then he hits the scoreboard like that. Just why he gets a game week in, week out.
Tom Boyd with his 4th intercept mark of the day. 4 inside 50s in his 3rd term for the Wangaratta Rovers for 2 goals. They've started this second half electric.
Back in the centre. Howe won the tap down for Yarrawonga. Here's Philo breaking away from the contest. Handball away in the nick of time. Perry Lewis-Smith intercepts, gets the ball to Gibbo, gone. The Rovers have cranked up the energy level in the 3rd term. Gerish brings it out to the broadcast side, and Allison takes a bit of sting out of the contest. On the right boot, finds Marklew on a lead. Pendergast happy to concede this mark, tied up on the boundary, 70 from home. So it's Alex Marklew, the captain of the Rovers, to inject them inside 50 yet once again. Christie was pushed in the back, and the umpire paid it. Yarrawonga are crumbling early stages of the 3rd term, and Will Christie can go back and have a shot for goal number 3.
Matty Holgate was so nervous there coming up to the ball. You could just see he didn't really want to be in that contest, and just thought, I've got to get Will Christie out of there. Straight in the back, free kick. This is what this big fella is causing right now. He's causing a lot of nervous contests for the Yarrawonga defenders, and he's going to go back and put another one through, I reckon, you boys.
He'll kick from 25 metres out in a 45-degree angle. Travis Cartwright from Cartwright Productions will capture this one beautifully if you're tuning in on Snapprint Solutions TV. Will Christie hasn't played since midway through the season, comes in and misses. 3-goal ball game. Will Christie kicks the behind, and it's an 18-point lead to the Wangaratta Rovers. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, 5 inside 50s in this 3rd term on the 40 winks stat sheet for the Wangaratta Rovers. Yarrawonga hasn't got it past halfway yet.
They're just about to, because Lockie Howe took a really important mark. Damon was almost going to give away a 50. That would have been some sort of brain fart. Howe goes long to half forward. Fothergill just left the football behind, didn't impact the contest. Gerish and Morey, in the end, the boundary line wins out. 65 from Yarrawonga goal. Just looked a little nervy to start this 3rd term, which is something we have not said all year about the Yarrawonga Pigeons. And it's a 3-goal lead to the way of the Rovers, who have gone bang bang to start this quarter. Damon getting on top of the ruck, brought down at a big strong tackle, ball up inside attacking 50 for the Pigeons.
Do you feel that the weight of expectation maybe for them, they've only lost the 1 game all year, obviously going for back-to-back, maybe the expectation is really weighing on a few of them mentally, and that's why they're not quite playing to their standard that we know they can.
Perry Lewis-Smith tapped it forward. The Rovers arrive in numbers, and umpire Jeff Bassett calls for a restart. So 6.5 minutes gone here in the 3rd term. Thanks to the locker room at the SS&A. The Rovers lead by 18 points. Howe won the tap. Perry Lewis-Smith fed it backwards to Gibbons from a standing start. There's a whistle, a free kick. It's going to go Ben Kennedy's way. It is. In a dangerous spot here. Ben Kennedy will have a set shot, 20 metres out, slight angle.
Yeah, against Ledger, just held on as Kennedy tried to get to the ball there and took him to ground. So the right call there from umpire Jason Rain. And Ben Kennedy, he's been their most likely, I feel, front of the footy. He looks like he's lively and he can just, takes a grab, he gets on the move, and that's why Charles Ledger there just held on and gave away that free kick.
He will be kicking with the Breeze, but his set shots have been a bit ordinary today. 1 on the full and 1 behind, shooting for goal number 2. At the scoreboard end, Ben Kennedy comes in. It looks to be towards the left, and it's hit the stick. Ben Kennedy, with his 4th shot on goal, has kicked 1 goal 2 and 1 out of bounds on the full. Yarrawonga 3-11, the Rovers 7-4, thanks to Inspirations Paint.
So 11 scoring shots to 14, yet the Pigeons find themselves 17 points to the rear as Allison brings it out of defence, intercepted though by Fronfelder. Read the ball beautifully, kicks to the top of the goal square, big tussle, down there taking a mark was Casey, edge of the goal square, and he will go back from almost point blank range here and get the Yarrawonga Pigeons first of the second half.
So smart from Felder. He knew there was going to be a mismatch because it was either going to be Allison or Nolan back there on Casey, and just got it back in as quick as he could, and just too big, too strong was Matty Casey for the 2 little blokes back there.
Feel like this is such an important kick for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, who have not had their kicking boots on today. Casey demonstrates how to do it, and the Yarrawonga Pigeons get their first goal since the 18th minute mark of the 2nd term. They bite back, and the margin is now back to about 11 points. Scotty Montgomery?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a great mark. close to the goal line. Never going to miss that one was Matty Casey.
Michael Gibbons up to 3 disposals in this third term on 40-week stats sheet. He had 19 in the first half. That takes him up to 22 for the game. Brodie Philo's had a couple of early disposals for the Wangaratta Rovers. He's had 15 disposals for the game.
Around the grounds, Mr. Stowe's Pool World in the VFL. Southport lead 26 to Werribee 14. And good luck to all the O&M boys playing in the VFL decider at Icon Park this afternoon. All 9 of them. Free kick, whistle, ruck infringement. Umpire thought about that, Ash Broughton. Went to go Rovers. Now he goes Lock Howe. So Lock Howe, the ruckman for Yarrawonga. Arcs around on the right boot, high up and under inside 50. Looks to be in a fair bit of trouble there as Boydie's. He got the fist on it. He does have a troublesome back and he is down. Nolan, kick was poor, mopped up okay by Osborne and he's been taken out of bounds. Scott Montgomery from McRae Motors, you saw that one beautifully of Tommy Boyd.
Yeah, it landed straight on the coccyx, I reckon, just straight on the butt bone. Just, yeah, a bit sore, but he's up and going again now and found his way back to Matty Casey.
We'll get an update soon from Bobby Jackson, boundary side for the Newey. As it's tossed back in. Feel like Damon's really owning this early stages of the third quarter. And we have a ball up. 55 out from Yarrawonga's goal. Howe. Down. And then Lockie O'Brien just weaved through traffic beautifully and chipped out wide towards Murray at half-back. Catapan kept it in. Back to Murray, who fends off Wheeler. Beautiful little kick towards O'Brien. Just had too much on it. And Ryan Bruce comes in with a slips catch down low. Intercepts on centre wing. It is 46-35. The Rovers lead on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard third term.
And we played 10 minutes thanks to NZ. Nolan across half-back. Kick was smothered. Damon's been brilliant. Got the handball back to Nolan, who goes with the left boot to try and gain some territory. Yarrawonga have numbers. I reckon Whooper Irvine and Ned Pendergast both got a fair chunk of it. But the umpire's going to pay the mark here to Pendergast. Our man, the head. Kicks to centre half forward with a chiseler. Perry Lewis-Smith being quiet by his standards. Numbers, please, for 40 Winks, Bradley.
11th disposal coming up here.
As he kicks to the top of the goal square for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Doesn't need the goal square because it's got the legs! Sunjam goal today from PLS. And our man, Bobby Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel. You can just sense he's a little bit excited.
Yeah, well, come with the man. Yeah, come with the moment, man, whatever you say. But yeah, the Yarra boys, the big fellas, need to stand up big time. Yeah, you can just sense that Gibbons is getting a lot more touches of the footy. Ned Pendergast is starting to put his stamp on the game across half-back as well. Yeah, you just can sense that the Yarra Footy Club's got one more punch to throw here.
Can you give us that cliche again, please, Bobby?
In the moment, then the man. No, it's something.
Don't worry about it, Bobby J. We all knew what you were talking about. 46 plays 41 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Rovers are up by 5 points. The Pigeons have kicked the last 2 in the big dance. O'Brien skips around one. Left foot chiseler in towards Stewie Booth. And Stewie Booth on a searching lead. It's a tough kick. He'll kick from 45, 50 metres out, right up against the boundary velodrome side.
Yeah, Stewie Booth hasn't had a big day today, but that was a really nice lead there and a great kick out in front from O'Brien.
So Stewie Booth, he'll have to get a real piece of this. He'll take his best. 50 metres out, drop punt on the way, will not make the distance. Christie's down there. All a little mid-air soccer from Mark Lou. The volley was already over the line and through for a minor score. Bobby Jackson, Jess Koopman just came off, looked to be in a bit of trouble.
Looked like he's caught one to the shin, calf area, fellas. I'm just...
Yeah, he collided with Ed Damon on the far back flank, I think, and going to be in a bit of issue.
Yeah, a bit of an issue. Might be corky.
6-point lead to Wangaratta Rovers thanks to Inspirations Paint. Fronfelder marks from the kick in from Pendergast. He's at true centre wing broadcast side and has space. He's got PLS, Perry Lewis-Smith on the logo. Kicks inside 50. Fothergill's there. Spills out the back. Kennedy needs to sit. Open goal. Bang! Scores a level in the grand final. Yarrawonga have kicked 3 consecutive goals. And Ben Kennedy kicks his second, just what the doctor ordered in the third term for the locker room at the SS&A.
All started from our man, empty head from full back. What a kick that was to find Basil Fromfelder on the wing. And then just great ball use again. Got it to Perry Lewis-Smith, who knew they had a really good 2-on-2 in the goal square. Got it out there, and Ben Kennedy read the ball so well. I reckon he's been fantastic today, Ben Kennedy. Definitely been in Yarrawonga's best.
Perry Lewis-Smith up to 4 disposals in the third term on the 40-wing stat sheet. He only had 8 disposals in the first half, so he's getting busy. 3 in a row, just like that for the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and scores are level.
as Gaston tumbles one inside 50 for the Rovers. Howe with a beautiful sweeping hand pass to Fronfelder, who's got busy in this third quarter. Dribbles one to himself. He might get his own kick, Basil. Gains valuable yardage for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Gets the applause from his bench. And we'll have a boundary throw in just forward of the wing for the Wangaratta Rovers.
Scott Montgomery for McRae Motors with the breeze favouring Yarrawonga. How much do they need to be in front by at three-quarter time?
I'd want 2 or 3 goals, that's for sure. I wouldn't want it to be really close because you play on that breeze, get a bit mental.
Howe had to kick it in a hurry because he had pressure from behind. Gibbons tackled by Murray. He's in strife. It's a wonderful tackle. Gibbo knew it. He just said, Sam, here's the footy. And Sam Murray wins a free kick for the Rovers on centre wing. They don't lead. Scores a level, Gus McLeod.
Murray tries to kick to a 3-on-1. The 3 prevail. Thought Pendergast flew high. And so did Kogel. And Kogel, I thought he got a good piece of that, Monty. But
yeah, I think just as he landed, it might have hit the ground. That might have been more than umpire. Yeah, didn't pay it.
So a ball the footy up, 35 from Rovers goal. Nice work. Catapan feeds it back. O'Brien wants to find his left, slipped at the crucial moment. Philo dispossessed, high tackle. It's a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Rovers. And it's not for the second incident, it's for the first one, Monty.
Yeah, Harry Wheeler went to tackle and the ball would come out and just took him all the way to ground, just held on a little bit too long. So probably the right call, and Brad Freak just signalled he's going to put this one through. So we'll see how Bradley Philo goes.
I hope he hasn't been spending too much time with Robert, our man Brad.
What's Willie Wheeler doing here? Is he trying to stop him from being able to play on?
I reckon he is.
You're not allowed to stand there, surely. He's in protected zone.
As long as he's being pushed right out. He's on the Astro turf outside the boundary line.
Brodie Philo from 50 metres, right foot kick. It's across the face, but it'll stay in the field of play. Big spoil. Wilson's got some work to do. This is Dylan. McCarthy left it behind. Logan Morey shoveling his way through, but Ryan Bruce applies a good tackle on Dylan Wilson and will ball the footy up 35 metres out from Yarrawonga goal.
47 plays 47 for Inspirations Paint. Scores a level. Wilson came through and won a real 50-50 contest. His hand pass was intercepted by the Rovers in the middle of the ground. McCarthy's going to be first to this Sharon. Did really well, put his head over it because Casey was right under him. Perry Lewis-Smith wraps up Stone. The heat's lifted in this game. Yarrawonga force a turnover. Harry Wheeler goes inside 50. There's a one-on-one. Well done, Ledger, up against young Ben Kennedy. 2 young stars. Kennedy kept his feet. Ledger wrapped him up. And we have a ball up, 40 out from the Yarrawonga goal. We have played 15 minutes for NZ in this third term for the locker room at the SS&A.
The only thing I can see out there is they must love that matchup of Ledger on Kennedy because he willing to spend more time up around the middle of the ground than he is inside 50 at the moment.
He's almost playing as a decoy today, Big Leroy. 1-2, Murray and Philo. Now it's Philo on the left. Velodrome side of the ground, 2-on-1. Well done, Lewis. Made a contest. Booth comes through. Handball was poor. Irvine for Yarrawonga. Wrapped up in a Lewis tackle, holding the ball. High free kick. Just fumbling and causing an uncostly error. We'll go boundary side, Bobby J, Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, young Benny Kennedy. Kennedy's come off with a bit of a limp to the left leg. I'll just keep an eye on that. Take it straight to the table.
They've switched the footy here, Yarrawonga. Fothergill has it on the broadcast wing. Checks his kick for Leroy. Oh, he spilt the cherry at the end. Bounced right out of his chest. You never see that from Leroy. Hasn't been his day. Perry Lewis-Smith set sail from 55. Does it beat all carriers? No. Well done, Charles Ledger. Got back in a nick of time because it looked like it was going through for a goal. And it's a minor score, and the Pigeons are back in front. 6-12-48 to the Rovers, 7-6-47 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. We have played 17 minutes for NZ.
Willie Wheeler yet to have a disposal in the third quarter on the 40 Winks stat sheet. The Morris medalist had 16 in the first half, hasn't had a disposal in the second half.
Front on contact, free kick being paid to Will McCarthy, so we'll get the free kick at half back here.
He's been excellent, Will McCarthy. Clearly had a good year at Bushranger level, and he's been excellent since coming into this side. I put the commentator's curse on him, but Philo's there. Got a push in the back. Umpire sees it. The umpire of the year, Jeff Bassett, correctly officiating that one. And Brodie Philo, the recipient of the free kick. True centre wing on the Velodrome side of Lavington. Philo kicks from a standing start. Wants the boundary. Elmer Fudd can't quite keep it in. Will ball the football back into play 55 metres out from Rovers goal. Brad Freak, 40 Wing stats.
Yeah, 5 disposals each for Brodie Philo and Sam Murray. Sam Catapan's had the 4 in this third quarter as well. 8 inside 50s apiece as well for both sides.
Just a quick one here, boys. Ben Kennedy's getting his ankle restrapped as we speak.
Catapan tried to swing out of a Dan Howe tackle, wasn't able to. We'll have another ball up. 2 kicks from Wang Rovers' goal. 2 goals to 3, favouring the Yarrawonga Pigeons in this third quarter that's had everything in the grand final. Ball trickles inside Rovers, attacking 50. O'Brien on his wrong side finds McCarthy. Sticks the Dukes up, takes an elite body and paint mark of the day. Crowd wants 50. Umpire not buying it, and McCarthy will line up. Does he have the journey here, Monty?
No chance. We're into that breeze as well. He's going to have to kick it from 55.
Had Mark Lew on a searching lead, ignores it. Sets it up to the top of the goal square. Where are the Flyers? Murray came across. He was setting himself for a big hanger. Good defensive fist from the Pigeons, and scores are once again level. 48 plays 48 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, 9 inside 50s for the Rovers, 8 for the Pigeons. As we touched on, Perry Lewis-Smith up to 7 disposals in this third quarter. Willie Wheeler has yet to have a disposal as he's about to take a mark here.
I reckon that's the first time I've seen Lockie O'Brien use his right boot too. I didn't think he had one.
You have a sore foot tomorrow.
Nice kick inboard. Finds Fothergill. Being quiet. That's a poor, dangerous kick, but works out beautifully for Gibbons. Sorry about that one, Nick. Here comes Gibbo. Top of the goal squares where he wants to go. Damien Wilson. And a great mark taken by Jace McQuaid. Flew across the pack courageously. Now by hand goes and finds Allison. And now McCarthy. This is Will. Been excellent on the left boot, inboard to Shagger Nolan. Scores a level at 48 apiece. Yarrawonga 6-12, the Rovers 7-6. 20 minutes gone for NZ. Third term of the grand final as the Rovers switch out wide to the Velodrome side. The ball's in the hands of Dylan Stone.
Ray White rule netball going to the way of Yarrawonga. Already secured one senior premiership today. Will there be another? As Stone's kick has been intercepted by Dan Howe. Just feel like he's lifted a little bit in this third quarter, Dan. His numbers, Brad Freak.
Yeah, he's coming up for his 4th of the quarter, 12th of the game.
Kicks off a step into the pocket. Is there a free and a hold? I reckon there is.
Yep.
And it's going to go the way of Big Matty Casey. There's a mismatch, and he will line up for goal number 2 of the third term, 45 metres out on a pretty tight angle.
And Sam Murray behind play. He's really struggling to move, boys. He's just gone to his haunches. Just can't really walk, so that hip's really playing up on him. But Matty Casey needs to make sure he goes back and puts this one through. He's already kicked the one in this quarter, just to give him that little bit more momentum heading towards the three-quarter time break.
So I reckon the mismatch was against Dylan Stone. Just beating for size, and Matty Casey, who has kicked the 36 goals returning from Baldwin this year, will line up to put Yarrawonga back in front. And for 4 in a row, after they trailed by 17 points midway through this third quarter. Drop punt on the way is shallow, and it's through for a minor score. 6-13, 49 Yarrawonga, 7-6, 48 the Wang Rovers. We have played 21 minutes for NZ, third term for the locker room at the SS&A. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, Perry Lewis, 7 disposals in this third quarter. Dan Howe's had the 4 for Michael Gibbons. On the Rovers side of things, Philo and Murray have had 5 disposals each.
Give another one to Philo, Brad, because he roosted it from full back. Here's a go for Wilson. Head over the football, wants to find the boundary line, gets it right in front of Bobby J for the Newmarket Hotel boundary side.
It's going to be a war of attrition here, lads. There's a few blokes coming off nice and sore and out of gas, so it's going to go deep, and the fittest is going to be there at the end, I reckon.
I think that's where Yarrawonga's midfield depth might really stand up here. Gibbons has been excellent. Another 40 winks disposals. He attacks the corridor. Logan Morey's got some work to do. Well done, Gerish. Made a contest. Morey kicks it forward. Nolan off the back of the square did a really good job, but Yarrawonga have numbers. Perry Lewis-Smith over the top and a high free kick. Going the way of Yarrawonga, Scott Montgomery, McRae Motors.
That was really crude there from Parnell. This went way too high, and Fothergill was able to stand up and take the contact and get the free kick.
Now, I reckon this is probably just beyond his range, particularly the hamstring. He lowers the eyes, and Lee Williams marks. Uncontested, poor tracking from the Wangaratta Rovers.
You see what Jace McCabe was trying to do there? He wanted to get back to the goal line to make sure he was there, because it was going to be right on Fothergill's distance, and he didn't want to make sure it just got shepherded through, but just meant that Lee Williams had to be manned up by someone else, and no one went to him, and just an easy little option there from Nick Fothergill.
Lee Williams hasn't quite been his best day today, but he can step up in big moments. 49 metres out. Lee Williams, not the best. Kick stays in the field of play. Out of bounds on the full. The umpire had a good view of it, better than us.
And the field umpire was right there too.
And it's going to be Brodie Philo who will claim another 40 winks disposal. He's going to try and get as much distance as he possibly can on that right boot. Long down the line to a contest. Morey flew high and he'll inject Yarrawonga back into attack.
Short kick, finds Gibbons. Maybe just too far out for Gibbo. Wants a hand pass received. Gives it off to Pendergast, who fumbled it at a crucial stage. The Rovers get numbers in defence. You can see empty head there, putting his head back. Monty spewing.
Oh, Gibbo knew exactly. They played it perfectly. Empty head before he could kick it, just dropped it, which is not part of the playbook.
So Gibbons back here involved. He's given away a free kick though.
Oh, that should be 50.
Nah, he did the right thing there, Gibbo. Just stopped the play on.
Just tried to hold up Catapan. He's been in everything today, Michael Gibbons. A free kick here to Jack Gerrish and the Rovers. In the defensive square. 49 plays 48. Yarrawonga in front by a point for Inspiration's paint. Gerrish goes to a one-on-one. McCarthy versus Urquhart. Mark Lou assists. Keeps the ball in. Goes back to Parnell, who also keeps it in. Runs around one. Takes a bounce. Gets a 1-2 with McCarthy. Great work by Parnell and the Rovers. Chips it inside, attacking 50. And fires Big Ed Damon. An elite body and paint player today from Kieran Parnell and the Rovers. And Damon will line up from 45 metres out in front of the grandstand.
I was watching Alex McCarthy there. He was pointing. He wanted that ball kick to him the whole time, even though he had Jordan Urquhart there. He likes that matchup. And he was able to bring it down in front of him, and then the work from Parnell to keep the ball in. And a beautiful kick inside 50 and found Big Ed. Big Ed, we've been saying it a lot. Just need to kick it to keep that momentum going for them.
Kick the first for the Rovers today. And Ed Damon will line up for number 2 and the most crucial kick in the grand final. Thank you very much for Ed Damon. 2 goals for Big Ed and the Rovers bite back. They regain the lead by 5 points.
10 inside 50s in this third term apiece for both sides. Brodie Philo up to the 7 disposals as well. Perry Lewis-Smith 7 for Yarrawonga in this third quarter. Just been able to get a bit of ball forward. 3 marks inside their forward 50 as well for the Wangaratta Rovers from their 10 entries. Just been able to lower their eyes a little bit in this third term and find a few more targets.
25 minutes gone thanks to NZ Albury. We'll go boundary side, Bobby J.
You just feel as though this is going to go up another notch, and it has, and it's been fantastic football this quarter. Big Ed there, it was fantastic finish.
The Rovers by 5 points on the eve of three-quarter time. Damon's back in the ruck. Looking okay is Philo. Kicks to centre half forward. Pendergast had better positioning over his number sake. Out on the Velodrome side wing, Harry Wheeler kicks forward. Fothergill got a falcon. Well done by Boyd. Looks to be okay after that back niggle. As the siren sounds for three-quarter time in the grand final. The Wangaratta Rovers lead. Who would have predicted a scoreline like this? 8-6-54 to the Yarrawonga Pigeons. 6-13-49 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Do not go anywhere. It's a grand final for the ages with the final chapter on the other side of the break. You're with O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Shaping lives through nursing? Building communities through community services? Maybe caring for animals through veterinary science? With GoTAFE by your side, you can make it happen. From agriculture, hospitality, health and wellbeing, trades and education, to hair and beauty or creative, learn real skills for real jobs and careers right now. With GoTAFE, you've got this. Search GoTAFE today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community. 0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
1, 2.
rumours are true. We're heading to the Riverina. That's right, fifth quarter camps is heading to Albury and Wagga Wagga this October. We'll be in Albury on Tuesday the 8th and Wednesday the 9th of October. We'll then be in Wagga Wagga on the 10th. Isaac and I will be bringing plenty of our teammates along for the journey. We can't wait to see you all there. Head to Fifth Quarter Camp's website for more details. See you soon.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Half price until half time is on in the locker room. Watch Friday night AFL footy action live on our big screen and get half price selected beers until half time. On now in the locker room at the SS&A.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Straight into it here at the Lavington Sports Ground. The Rovers hold a 5-point lead at three-quarter time. We're going to go down to the boundary. Bobby Jackson has assistant coach for the Rovers, Kyle Raven.
Kyle, right into it. She's up for grabs now, mate. What was the message there at three-quarter time?
I think it's just not to be too happy. We've got the win, but just don't be too wind happy. We've still got to pick our eyes, pick through it. The boys are held up really well. Inside 50s probably have gone against us, but yeah, it's there to win now, Bobby.
Certainly is. Best luck, mate. Just a quick one, boys. Stevie J put it on Dan Howe, throwing him in the middle and putting it on him. He's one of our best players. We need him to lift. So there's putting the acid on him, and they're right in it. And they believe that their fitness might be too good for the Rovers, so they expect to run over the top of them here. But the Rovers were calm and focused, and they really honed in on being disciplined for this last quarter.
Just to pick up Robbie's point there about Dan Howe, on the 40-wing stat sheet, only 12 disposals in today's game. Harry Wheeler's another one, only 10 disposals for the Pigeons. They really need him to lift. Michael Gibbons up to 25 disposals. Sam Murray's the leading disposal getter for the Wangaratta Rovers on 24.
Who will it be? The Rovers or the Pigeons? Stay with us. Half an hour of footy left in season 2024.
Here we go, the final quarter. Murray did well to get it forward for the Rovers. Philo's going to have to lift and be really good. Well done by Fraunfelder. Gained some yardage, but it falls into the hands of Gerish. Gerish from 55 for the dream start, top of the square. Where's a crummer? There's McCarthy. Can he keep it alive? He can. Feeds it back to Marklew. Now Yarrawonga arrive in numbers. Good tackle from Ryan Bruce, top of the goal square, and we'll ball it up. Yarrawonga caught napping early, Monty.
Yeah, they got numbers back to that contest, but when it fumbled past their first line of defence, the Rovers were there and ready to go.
Ruck contest directly in front of Rover territory goal. I feel like the first goal in this last quarter is massive. 5-point lead to the Rovers. They've led at every change. Grabbing it out of the ruck there was Howe, but his kick might be met out here by Lewis. His hand pass intercepted by Perry Lewis-Smith, who was under a big lot of pressure. And there's a free kick here going to the Rovers for holding the ball. It's going to go the way of Sam Catapan.
Yeah, just that defensive pressure's been there all day from the Rovers, and Perry Lewis-Smith there just wasn't able to get a clean handball away. And Sammy Catapan, this is definitely within his distance. We've seen him kick some good goals this year for the Rovers. None bigger than what this one means to the club right now.
Numbers, Brad Freak.
He's coming up for his 18th disposal of the game.
He's been in everything as the former Aberfeldy captain, playing in front of 9,000 people here at the Lavington Sports Ground, and 5.5 watching at home for the dream start. Sam Catapan gives the Rovers a whole lot of momentum in the grand final. Margin out to 11 points. The Rovers with an important goal in the fourth term for Mac Jack Sheds.
Rovers have just been able to take their opportunities today when they've gone inside their forward 50. They've only had 26 inside 50s for the whole game. The Yarrawonga's had 42, so plus 16 in favour of the Pigeons. Just haven't been able to kick straight, and the Rovers have just taken more of their opportunities when they've gone inside forward 50.
11-point lead to the Wangaratta Rovers. They're edging in front. 2 minutes gone for NZ. Winning the ruck contest was Howe, but Catapan prevails. Murray lost his footing on the cricket wicket. Willie Wheeler feeds it out wide to the running overlap of Bailey Fronfelder. Low chisel-up. Nick Fothergill's worked himself up the ground. Gives it back to the booming left footer in Fothergill. Inside forward 50. Williams. Got it, Big Leroy. Hasn't been his day, but my goodness, Yarrawonga need their future coach to step up.
How good was that? We've only seen him in that sort of range in front of goals a couple of times, and he's looked so dominant when he's within that 30-metre arc, but he's just been so high up the ground today, we haven't seen enough of it, but no bigger kick for the future coach than this one right here.
One behind, one didn't make the journey, and one on the full. Uncharacteristic for Big Leroy. This to bring the margin back to 5 points to the Hannah Street end. Leroy Williams misses to the right-hand side. 10-point ball game thanks to Marty and the team at Border Carpets. And the Rovers, Monty, for McRae Motors, they'll just take a bit of sting here.
Absolutely. They can waste time now. Every time they get the footy, they don't have to go 100 miles an hour. Not to say they'll protect the lead, but they can just be a bit more methodical with what they've got to do.
6 goals, 14. The tale of the story for the Yarrawonga Pigeons in the big dance as Gibbons fires a hand pass forward here to Fothergill, is in trouble. Big crunching tackle there from Catapan. Ball still inside attacking 50 for the Pigeons. They want a free kick for a high. Umpire says, give it to me, as they pile on top of Michael Gibbons. And it will be tossed up, 30 out from Pigeon goal. 60 plays 50, margin 10 points. We've played 3.5 for NZ fourth term. Thrown back up, so many players around this pill, and we'll have another stoppage. The exact same spot as the one prior. Cogill doing the ruck work for the Pigeons. Philo breaks away off halfback, sends a long high one down the wing, but it's into the crowd, and the Pigeons have a chance to reset. They trail by 10 points for Border Carpets in this fourth term for Mac Jack Sheds.
Brad Freak, some 40-wing stats.
Yeah, 3 disposals in this last term for Brodie Philo. A couple of inside 50s for both sides as well. Sam Catapan's had 2 disposals as well.
Irvine sends Yarrawonga inside 50. Cogill got a good piece of it. Murray's lifting in this last quarter. Just goes for a torpedo punt. A clever kick because he had no one to kick to. We don't pay deliberate in the O&M, and we're going to bring the footy back into play 75, 80 metres out from Rovers' goal.
Yeah, absolutely. None of that insufficient intent like the AFL. Otherwise, that one would have been paid for sure. But just smart there from Sam Murray. Broke out, looked up, had Whooper Irvine sitting in a hole and just went, nah, I'm going to kick it to the boundary and we'll reset there from stoppage because they've been so good as Brodie Philo comes to the bench. Looks like he's grimacing a little bit.
Doesn't matter. Brodie will find a way. Whistle and a free kick here to Yarrawonga.
It's going to the Rovers.
Sorry, you're right. It is going to the Rovers.
Big Ed.
Big Ed in the ruck, who has just provided so much drive for the Rovers today. Kicks into the pocket. McCarthy, all going back with courage was Bruce. McCarthy's kick lands in the laps of Gerish. The diving slips catch. And he will line up from 30 metres out directly in front and to extend the margin to 16 points.
Alex McCarthy's been big today. Just provided an option there. Ryan Bruce going back to the fight, wasn't able to take the mark. And McCarthy just quickly got it on the boot to a dangerous spot. And Jackie Gerish, don't underrate his game either. His defensive and two-way running today has been second to none, and then just gets himself in the right spot because of that gut running. And now he has the chance to go back and kick his first of the day.
A Rovers thirds boy. The biggest kick of his senior career comes in directly in front and makes no mistake, Jack Gerish. He was there when they didn't win a game in 2018. Now he's kicking goals on grand final day. Margin at 16. The Rovers with the first 2 of the fourth term.
Only gone inside the forward 50 3 times in this last quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet. Have the Wangaratta Rovers been able to kick a couple of goals into that time. As we touched on, Philo's had 3 disposals in the last term. Takes him up to 24 for the game. Sam Murray, an early touch, 25 for the match. Sam Catapan's had 19 disposals for the game. And the Rovers midfield has been on top for the vast majority of today.
I reckon the reason they've been on top is the dominance of Ed Damon. What a mid-season recruit to bring the homeboy back to the brown and gold. Cogill's gone on the ruck. He won that tap. Well done by Catapan. Willie Wheeler. Was he held?
Yeah, delayed whistle there. That happened about 30 seconds before Ash Broughton blew the whistle. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise to pay it when he did, but it was definitely there.
And I think Willie made it known to Ash that he thought he was a worthy recipient of that free kick. Wheeler inside 50. Williams the target in front. Great mark taken by Ed Damon. He is playing some grand final. Out to the broadcast side wing. So's this bloke, Sam Catapan. His 40 winks, please, Brad.
20 disposals for the game for Catapan.
And this bloke, Sam Murray, the coach of the Rovers.
Coming up for his 26th disposal of the game.
Been a real leader's game from Sam Murray. He's been battered and bruised, Monty, and he's continued to have a crack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really brave and courageous effort what he's putting out there today, and just showing and leading from the front and why his team's in front.
66-50, the Rovers lead the Pigeons on the Border Carpet scoreboard, and we'll bring the ball back into play right in front of Bobby J for the Newmarket Hotel.
Just a quick one, boys. Brody Filo come off and he had the knee stabilising test by the doctor down here, so he's a little bit concerned. He's just trying to shake it off a little bit here, so we're interested to see how he goes in the next couple of minutes to get back on.
Damon and Cogill, and Damon again. His follow-up work is brilliant. Clears it inside 50. There's a whistle.
It's a block. Gonna go the way of Shuey Booth, boys. Yeah, just pushed out of the way when he was trying to come back with a fight against Harry Wheeler.
Scott Montgomery, McRae Motors special comments. It's an open 50. Mark Lou provides a lead. He's 55 out here, Stewie Booth. He does have the wind behind him. He's going to load up and kick it to the top of the goal square. Christie in a tussle. It spills out the back here towards McCarthy. Can he keep the ball in front of him? McCarthy swings around with a miraculous goal! 22 points in front, the Rovers. They're running away with it. And Alex McCarthy, something from nothing, he kept the footy alive, and the Rovers are marching away with it now.
Wow, that's all I can say. Wow, Alex McCarthy, he did the basketball dribble, the ball was in front of Ryan Bruce, was able to bounce it back to himself, Alex McCarthy, and then snap around the body. That was absolutely unbelievable from him, and his game today has been fantastic as well as that third tall forward.
This is only the second time all season Yarrawonga have conceded more than 66 points in a game. Just shows how good their defence has been, but the Rovers forward line today has just been next level.
The 31-year drought gets closer to being broken as the Rovers win another centre clearance. The head. Ned Pendergast marks at centre half back. Inboard to Dan Howe. He's going to take the game on. The former AFL star, right foot kick, was smothered off the boot. Inside 50. McCarthy's been excellent. Finds his coach on the half volley. Fumbled, regathered. Handballed over the top in a hit and hope. Gaston's got some work to do. Harry Wheeler got there first. Kicks inside 50. Kennedy, top of the goal square. Koopman, Crumbs, dispossessed. Was he held without? An umpire said no. Nolan onto Murray, and Murray just pumps it as long as he possibly can. Damon flew high. Pendergast intercept, and he's got a mark at centre half forward.
Morey can set sail from 55 off a step. Logan Morey. Point. Got the right shepherd, not the right bounce. Minor score. 6-15-51 the Pigeons, 11-6-72 the Rovers. At the 10th minute mark of the final term for NZ, Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Willie Wheeler, the Morris medalist, has only had 2 disposals in the second half. He had 16 in the first half of the game.
Allison's kick from fullback finds Damon, makes a good contest. Keeps the ball alive. Cogill back to Dan Howe. Sells a bit of candy on the right boot. Looking for Jess Koopman! Gee, he flew high. Made a good effort of it. Now he's going to get back onto his feet. Handball was smothered. Boundary throw in 50 metres out. Bit of heat off the ball here. Scott Montgomery, McRae Motors. What can Yarrawonga do to re-inject themselves into this game?
Oh, they've just got to have better looks inside 50. They're just bombing it in there now and just hoping when the defence of the Rovers is standing up strong here. Tom Boyd and co are just doing what they need to do and keep repelling.
Howe, top of the goal square from the boundary throw, and they need a mark. Free kick, whistle, advantage, Fraunfelder goal! Bailey Fraunfelder kicks a much-needed goal. A leader's goal for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. And the margin's back to under 3 kicks on O&M Live for Border Carpets.
Yeah, big Leroy got given that free kick there, got pushed out of that contest, and Bailey Fromfelder just ran onto the crumb and kicked that goal. They desperately needed it. They just need to get really good looks inside 50 for the last 10 minutes of this game, because otherwise this game's going to be all over in the next couple of minutes if they're not able to have another couple of opportunities, Brad Freak.
Dan Howe up to 2 disposals in this last term, starting to get a little bit busy. He's had a fairly quiet day. He's only had 14 disposals for the game.
Margin back to 15 points for Border Carpets. 72 plays 57. And Fromfelder had to kick that goal once the advantage was paid. Here comes PLS, kicks it into the pocket, one-on-one. Kennedy overran the football. Parnell did well. A calm, cool head. The kick was even better than the one-on-one contest because he finds Garish at half-back. Mark Lou leads up, takes it on centre wing in front of the huge Rovers contingency who cheer him on with all their gusto. Kicks to half forward, the Frenchman out the back, not able to mark. Bruce sees it over the boundary line. 75 around from Yarrawonga goal. Bob Jackson, how's the tension boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel?
Yeah, it's fairly tense here, and both sides are trying to be organised and making sure that they get the rotations right for the run home here. So there's plenty of angst and nervous energy, I suppose, but there's a lot at stake the last 10 minutes.
The Rovers by 15, almost 13 gone for NZ. Hands on the footy, O'Brien goes to Finn Osborne. Inside 50, not the kick from Finn. Out of bounds on the full. Yarrawonga will retrieve the footy. About 10 metres from behind of the 50 arc here. In fact, maybe 10 metres in front. Whooper Irvine being good today for Yarrawonga. Needs to try and find a target. He opts to go long down the line. Stoppage. Damon brought it front and centre. Murray evades some pressure. He looks a bit slow, the coach, and he goes with the barrel. Inside 50. The FUD on the half volley. Did he get it? Umpire said no. Handball out wide. McCarthy snapping on goal. It's across the face. Which way's the bounce going to go? Christie's got some chasing to do. Yarrawonga exit D50 and Logan Morey marks on the logo.
Kicked a really important goal. Did Logan Morey in this second half. Kicks to Perry Lewis-Smith. 2 Rovers against him. Nolan's one of them. And Shagger does really well. Goes down the line to Jack Garish. 72 plays 57. Rovers in front. The Pigeons have only lost 1 game all year. Garish to a one-on-one. Wants the big Frenchman in a contest between him and Lovell. Boundary wins out. 50 out from Rovers goal.
Oh, it looks like, I reckon, Elmer Fudd's broken a wrist or something, boys. He's holding his wrist trying to run off. He didn't get up off the ground very quickly. Coming straight to the bench, so I reckon there's something wrong with that wrist.
Absolutely. We'll get Bobby J to watch that one for the Newmarket Hotel. Plays falling down everywhere here. Ryan Bruce, half-back for the Pigeons. Great kick, great mark by Parnell. Red Bruce has kicked brilliantly and intercepts for the Rovers in the middle of the ground.
Catapan, got on the second bite of the cherry. We'll get Bobby J to track the action down there, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Catapan has got Stone, who come off the bench, and he opts to use him. How many touches for Catapan, Brad Freak? 40 winks?
21 for Sam today.
Has to be a contender for the medal, I'd say. Stone, inside 50 for the Rovers. Did Christie get pushed? Umpire said no. It was blatant as blatant can be. Yarrawonga under the pump in D50. Looking for the boundary line was Urquhart. Umpire says play on. Stone, back to Garish. Across his body to the top of the square. Yarra have numbers, one of whom is Ned Pendergast. And I tell you what, Monty, Yarrawonga dodged a bullet there. It should have been a free kick. They attacked the corridor. Dan Howe through his mitts. Front on contact, free kick to Dan Howe at centre half back for Yarrawonga. 15 minutes gone for NZ.
Dan Howe's numbers 4th term, Brad Freak.
He's coming up for his 3rd of the last quarter.
Goes short to Koopman. Kick 4 behind today, Jesse. Goes short on the wing to Irvine. He's got Morey in front of him. Goes there. He's got players inside 50, not the right kick. He had 2 players to the right, Perry Lewis-Smith and Casey, and he picked out Allison.
Had Fothergill on the inside as well, boys, all by himself.
So many options. Parnell's been crunched by Williams, holding the ball. Huge drama here at the Lavington Sports Ground. The umpire didn't pay 15 from Allison's kick. Williams absolutely poleaxed him. And now Leroy will line up for the most important kick of the game.
Jeez, we'll talk about that one for a little while because I reckon that went pretty close to 15. But anyway, big Leroy absolutely nailed Parnell with that tackle. He put everything into it and the umpire rewarded it. So now he needs to go back. He's had his issues today with his goal kicking.
To bring the margin back to 9 points, he kicks it. Big Leroy gets his first of the day. Margin back to 9 points at the 17th minute mark for NZ in the fourth term. We got a grandstand finish in the big dance.
Boundary side, Bob Jackson for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, I think Elmer might be right, boys. He might have just jarred it, but the doctors are just running around trying to find a way to get him back out there at the moment. So they're looking for some magic potion, magic spray, magic tape. So they're looking to find something to get their captain back out there to hopefully get this team over the line. He's running into the change rooms now, so there might be a jab waiting for him in the change rooms.
Michael Gibbons yet to have a touch in the last term on the 40-week stat sheet.
9-point ball game. Yarrawonga trail the Rovers at the 17-minute mark. Free kick in the middle. McRae Motors, Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, Ed Damon just stepped right in, and you can't do that and not touch the footy. So against him, Lockie Howe.
Howe kicks to centre half forward front spot. Good mark. Parnell for the Rovers. Wants to take some sting.
This is where we've seen the Wangaratta Rovers control games all year. They just go into a second mode where they just chip it around, they try and control it until they hit front half footy, and then they go from there.
10 metres in front of where the boundary line junctions with the exit of play. Gerish long down the line. The two ruckman. Damon brought it front and centre. Well done, Pendergast. Wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire said he got the handball away. Lewis chisels one to Booth. Booth marked. He's got Christie on the lead. He ignores to Catapan. Catapan. Oh! Damien Wilson ran him down in a big tackle. Elite body and paint play of the day as he kicks out wide. And could that be a game-changing moment? O'Brien and Gibbons. O'Brien got it out wide. Allison now for the Rovers. Kicks to half forward. Looking for Christie. Pushed Urquhart. In fact, Holgate under the ball. And Will Christie sees it across the chalk for a boundary throw-in.
Damo Wilson, as we keep saying, grand finals are full of your moments. Hasn't been his day today, but that was his moment. That was a certain goal to Catapan, but he ran him down. It was a 50-metre gut run to get to him, and a great tackle.
Unbelievable elite body and paint play today from Damo Wilson, who stopped a certain score. Here come the Pigeons again. 1-on-1 contest in the middle of the ground. Maury's hand pass was too high for Williams, but he found a way forward. Murray's there for the Rovers. Retreats a fair way back to Ledger. He goes out wide. They've got numbers on the far side. Parnell has it. Score 72 Rovers, 63 Yarrawonga at the 18th minute mark for NZ in this fourth term. There's a player down in the Rovers attacking 50. It's a free kick here to Yarrawonga. Out on the full. We'll go to Bobby J soon as Yarrawonga load up once again. Maury stands tall when Elwano's did. And Maury will line up here from 30 metres out.
I think when the umpire's behind the play, Panda might have actually stopped the play because there was trainers on the ground for Dylan Wilson.
So it's going to take on. So he's going to have to go back to out of bounds on the full, I think.
Yeah.
Wilson looks to be in a real lot of trouble, Bobby Jackson, for the Newmarket.
Yeah, he's coming off with a right leg injury of some sort here, boys. He's getting a couple of trainers are carrying him off while Alma's getting his hand taped up as we speak. So there's a fair bit going on down here. It's like a Karachi roundabout. There's everything going on everywhere, boys. So
I thought I'd heard that whistle, but I wasn't sure what was going on. I thought he was maybe just trying to pull the bloke who was having the free kick out on the way around. But yeah, obviously the umpires down the field didn't hear it, and now it's going to have to go back to the out of bounds on the full.
It was so strange when he took the mark because it didn't seem like anybody else around him was flying at the football.
How big a moment could that be in the grand final, Panda?
Massive. So Maury was lining up for a goal 30 metres out. And it goes back to Michael Gibbons, who's going to do the exact same thing. Deja vu, kicks it into the pocket. Where are the Flyers? Williams was there, not able to mark, and the Rovers punch it over the boundary line. And we all take a much-needed breath here in the grand final. 72 plays 63. The Rovers have led at every change. They lead by 9 points at the 21-minute mark for NZ fourth term.
Boundary throw-in into attack for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Damon won the tap. Spills out the back. Allison and Fothergill. Head over the football was Gerish for the Rovers. Wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire Jeffrey Bassett calls for the ball and will ball it up. 45 from Yarra goal. Up goes the Sherrin. Damon, free kick, ruck infringement. Lockie Howe, the recipient.
Been a fair bit of that happening this last quarter to Lockie Howe. It's been called a play on.
Plays on, top of the goal square. Williams has to fly. Boyd!
Oh, that should be 50.
Tom Boyd, elite body and paint mark of the day. Williams was not on his best there. as Boyd goes short. Murray kicks long down the line. Big contest forms.
Free
well
kick.
done, Lovell.
It's going to go to Howe again. Gaston just jumped into him, took his jump out of it.
True centre wing broadcast side. Lockhouse, Sharon in hand. 21 minutes gone for NZ.
Getting all the repeat inside 50s here are the Pigeons. Long to a pack again. Maury got to the front, wasn't able to bring it down. The Rovers need calm heads in defence. Lots of players around the footy. They dive on each other. And we have a ball up 40 out from Rovers goals. Pigeons goal, 72 plays 63. Rovers lead by 9 points. 21 and a half minutes gone for NZ. What a grand final we have here in the Ovens of Murray as Murray once again clears the ball as long and far as he can and finds touch. Boundary throw in far wing. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, Sam Murray up to 32 disposals in this game. He's had 8 in this last term, 4 to Sam Catapan in the last quarter. He's up to 21. Philo's had the 3. On the the Pigeon side of things, Michael Gibbons only 1 touch. Willie Wheeler 2 touches. Perry Lewis-Smith only 2 touches in the last term.
Alex Marklou's back on the ground for the Rovers, but Willie Wheeler kicks Yarrawonga inside forward 50. Ledger did well. Fraunfelder got him in a big tackle. There was no prior there. Umpire says no. We'll ball the footy up. 25 from Yarra goal.
Yeah, how good was that? Charles Ledger just got back to the ball first and was smart. Just made sure that the tackler was close enough to grab him straight away and had no prior opportunity.
The Rovers by 9 for Border Carpets. Flying high was Damon. Ellison received the tap and Fothergill wrapped him
down,
up
boys.
In a big tackle. Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, he just went down. I reckon he hurt his knee then when he jumped into Lee Williams, so he's just going to wrestle this time.
Damon won the tap. Perry Lewis-Smith onto left footer Maury. Maury snaps top of the goal square. Falls the way of Fraunfelder. Evades one. Handballs backwards. Casey snaps and kicks the goal! Sunjan goal of the day from Matt Casey. He kicks his second and it's a 3-point grand final at the 23-minute mark for NZ.
3 in a row to the Pigeons and none bigger than that one from Matty Casey. We got through the would-be tackle of Sammy Murray and was able to snap that one through truly, and that's exactly what they needed.
11 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet for the Yarrawonga Pigeons in this last term. 8 for the Wangaratta Rovers. The ball's been living in the Pigeons forward half of the last 10 minutes of this game. As we touched on, Sam Murray's up to 32 disposals for the game, and Michael Gibbons is up to 26 for the game.
Just have a look, you can see the coaches from Yarrawonga trying to clear everyone back inside 50 so they get on the fly from the stoppage.
His 38th and most important goal of season 2024 brings the margin back to 3 points at the 23rd minute mark for NZ. A big contest here on the wing. Ash Broughton gets himself in position and we have a ball up. Broadcast side, Damon looks very sore. So much drama here in the Ovens of Murray Grand Final. Hope you're enjoying the coverage as Lockie O'Brien kicks off a step. It's a high up and under. Christie's outnumbered, has 2 Rovers to beat. Did pretty well to halve the contest. Marklew wraps up Irvine. Yarrawonga Pigeon defence have to go and go quick. Gaston against Howe in the middle of the ground. Both ruckmen did well. Wheeler has a number out on the spare side. It's Wilson. Wilson can get and go, and Yarrawonga kicked a half forward.
Damien Wilson inside 50 trying to find Casey. The Rovers have numbers everywhere. Fraunfelder crumbs, paddles to his own advantage. The Rovers want the boundary line. They keep it alive and taken across the chalk now. Great tackle there on the last line of defence. And we'll bring the ball back into play. 30 from Yarra goal.
His numbers down everywhere. Damon's come off. Looks like he caught one in the ribs. Was, just struggling to get the breath in there. So it's game right on here with Big Gatto in the ruck.
24 minutes gone for NZ. Boundary throw-in comes back into play. Lewis Smith for Yarrawonga. Kicks from the top of the goal square. What a mark here in Parnell. Could that be a grand final winning mark on the last line of defence?
Called time off here, Jason Rain too, as he's just taking his time here. Kieran Parnell really, really smart, but that's an elite body and paint mark of the day right there.
72 plays 69. Yarrawonga trail the Rovers. 25 minutes gone for NZ.
Holding on for dear life, the Wangaratta Rovers. And Stewie Booth takes the most important mark of the season. He's got Alex Marklew streaming inside, attacking 50. Marklew marks and can just take a little bit of time off the clock. Alex Marklew, 55 metres out on a very tight angle. He does not have the journey here. It is chips it back to O'Brien.
Numbers everywhere behind the footy for the Rovers. They can chip it around if they want to.
O'Brien likes something into the pocket. It's Christie! Not able to haul it in. spills the way of Irvine, but he sends it straight back towards Alex Marklew. 2 kicks from home, and he chips it over the top here and finds a teammate in Brodie Philo. 72 plays 69. The Rovers lead at the 26-minute mark for NZ.
Brodie's pointing at the goals like he's going to have a shot, but I don't know if he's quite in his lane. We know he's got a long distance kick in him, but he's going to have to kick it from 70.
26 and a half minutes gone. The Rovers by 3. Philo to the top of the goal square. Can a Rover mark? Yarrawonga have numbers. Well done, Booth. Now Lewis head over the footy. Dives on top of it. The Rovers want a stoppage. They're going to get one. Umpire Ash Broughton calls for the Sherrin. 26, almost 27 gone. Can the Rovers hold on in the grand final? They're deep into attack. Clever from Gibbons. Handballs over the top. Bruce on the half volley for Yarrawonga. Kick was the grubber. Rovers have numbers. Catapan's going to get the Rovers inside 50. Is it going to stay inside the field of play? Whooper Irvine marks. Last line of defence. Last roll of the dice. Here come the Pigeons.
Everything has to be perfect here for Yarrawonga. And there's the start of it from Dan Howe. Marks on the wing. Like something inboard. Finds Harry Wheeler. Drops a mark. Retreats with handball. Back to Irvine. Irvine off a step. Needs a mark. Parnell's been epic. Kieran Parnell with an elite body and paint mark of the day.
How good's his last quarter been, boys?
Takes some mark in the middle of the ground. The Rovers 72, the Pigeons 69. Numbers out on the far velodrome side. McCarthy finds Marklew, and he can take more time off the clock right in front of the Rovers faithful. The Rovers by 3 points. 28 played for NZ.
Only seconds left. One of the epic grand finals in the SS&A Ovens and Murray as the Wangaratta Rovers break a 31-year drought. They become the second most successful club in O&M history. Jubilation for the Rovers. Heartbreak for the Pigeons. What a grand final in the SS&A Ovens and Murray.
30 long years of pain ended at the Lavington Sports Ground. They haven't won a grand final since 1994. Look at the scenes for the brown and gold. Shane Gaston, Alex Marklew, Will Nolan, all the boys that have been there forever. Look at what it means to the Wangaratta Rovers. They let it every change, and in the end, they claim the 2024 grand final. What a game of footy we've seen here on O&M Live. Brad Breek, 40 winks. Wow.
What an unbelievable game of football we've witnessed today. I'm a bit speechless at the moment, Pandas. That was an incredible game of football. It had everything that you'd hope for coming here today. It was just a brilliant contest, and yeah, obviously Sam Murray said through the week, Pen, he needed to go to a different recipe to be able to beat him, and he cooked up the right recipe today and was able to get the job done. And as we said in pre-game, you only have to beat them once, and they beat them once, and that's all that matters.
Wow, that's all I can say. We're all a bit speechless here at the Lavington Sports Ground. We have been treated to 3 of the best in 3 years. And the Wangaratta Rovers, they were wooden spooners 6 years ago.
Boys, I've got Charles Ledger down here, mate. How good was that, buddy?
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
to be beaten by 12 goals in the second semi, to come back and have a game like that was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was unreal. We knew we had it. We got obviously the 2 Sams back, and we had a good chat about it after it, and yeah, this is what we can produce.
The big fella that come into the side today, Will, was fantastic. He gave you a different look today.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so good. Just putting him there on his head. He wasn't moving real well, but didn't need to.
Magnificent, mate. Enjoy the night, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
You jump in whenever, Bobby J. Find Elmer Fudd, find Sam Murray, find them all amongst the massive contingent of Rovers fans on the ground who have travelled in numbers here at the Lavington Sports Ground, and they have broken a 30-year premiership drought, the second longest in the Ovens and Murray. 1994, the last time they tasted premiership success, and in the end of the day, they were probably the better side. For mine, they let it every change, and they thoroughly deserved a much-deserved win here on Grand Final Day.
Oh, fuck. I tell you what, one of the changes that the Wangaratta Rovers made, Ed Damon and Will Christie into the lineup for the grand final.
Boys, I'm just going to cut in. Got the big Frenchman here, Caddo. How good is that, mate? What a win from your team to stand up like that and to get that reward after what you've been through here.
Mate, that is unreal. The club deserves this so much. 5-6 years ago, we're getting the shit kicked out of us, week in, week out, to come out and they put a plan in place, and Mars and the guys, super effort. I could not be prouder of this club. It's amazing. I cannot believe finished my career this way to win a flag. I want to swear so much. Hey, Stade.
All right, go and enjoy it, mate. Go and enjoy it. Great job.
Thanks, boys.
He wants to swear, he doesn't have words. I think Shane Gaston, the shit kicked out of him for years. That's just emotion, isn't it, Gus McLeod?
4 or 5 years ago, when I arrived in Albury.
Boys, I've got Lockie O'Brien here, mate. How good was that, mate?
It's a special feeling. Holy, first year out to get a flag with this team's special, and obviously, as you can see with the celebrations, it means so much, not only to the club but players as well, and it's been a long time coming. So for all of us that are new to the club, it's so good to be a part of this winning culture, and hopefully we continue that on.
Massive turnaround from 2 weeks ago. You guys just ran, and you just took everything throughout you today.
It was a super coaching plan that we came in with. We knew last time, especially Prendergast, and God, even did it today, super intercept player, and we changed the way that we set up, especially with stoppages, to make sure we're even in front, and I think that really helped. Obviously getting Will Christie back as well was super, and it was a great effort from the boys.
Big Will gave you a different look going forward today, didn't you? Sam spoke about different tricks this week, and that was one that he came up with this week.
Yeah, it was great. We did that. We did a bit of wing on wing because we know how much they like to give it back to Dan Howe as well. So we're just able to mitigate what their really good players can do, and as in the end, obviously 22 boys out in the field is what got it done, and luckily enough they came really hard at the end and we stuck it out.
Well done, mate. Enjoy the night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Straight in from the AFL and straight into an Ovens and Murray Grand Final, and there were 9,000 here today at Lavington, and I reckon it felt like 100 here at one stage. The crowd was that loud.
I'm on a roll, boys. I've got the captain here, Tommy Boyd. How good was that, Tommy?
That's unreal. Can't really put it into words. Bloody awesome.
The back six were just repelled everything today. You led the boys well down back.
No, cheers, mate. No, we were under the pump early, especially that first 10 minutes. But boys stuck strong, and we know that's our one wood. We don't often let sides score a big score. So I'm really impressed and couldn't be prouder.
The big fella down front gave you a different look.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, it's a great strength today. They score a lot off half back. With Pendergast, he intercepts a lot. So I'm just trying to get him make him a little bit more accountable for us.
You showed a lot of resolve to come from 12 goals down 2 weeks ago. That just shows a lot of character from the group.
Yeah, absolutely. We never lost. Proud of the boys. Pretty easy to throw in the towel after, but we stuck fat. Stuck to our guns, and look where we are. It's unreal.
You're a premiership captain, mate.
Yeah, can't really believe it. Yeah, thank you.
Well done, mate. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Bobby J dominating down there for the newie. Hey, Gus McLeod.
I know which one of the two co-captains will party harder tonight, and I reckon it's his co-captain, the FUD.
Yep.
Alex Marklew. How fitting that the homegrown boy was the man who had the Sharon when the final siren rang. The Rovers, 72-69, a 3-point grand final win, and it's a massive contingency of Rovers supporters in the Lavington Sports Ground. An epic grand final, and Bobby J and Scott Montgomery are doing some fantastic work amongst the action. Just cut in as soon as you got someone, boys. This is just absolutely sensational for a team that didn't win a game for 2 seasons 3 years ago, and now they're the premiers in 2022. Bob Jackson and Scott Montgomery for the Newmarket Hotel are well and truly amongst the action.
We knew we got there on the day.
I reckon Monty's just trying to get Sam Murray, but he's already having a chat with someone else. I tell you what, love to be a fly on the wall in the celebrations tonight when you got Mark, Lou, Philo, Mars, all of them. I reckon Monty's down there. I reckon he's got Sam Murray. Now, I reckon we're just struggling to get Sam amongst all that action down there at the moment, so we're just struggling to get him on the wireless microphone, which is okay. I think the players will make their way over to the medal presentation, which we will bring you here on O&M Live.
Just break up.
Craig Willis, the voice of the Ovens and Murray and sport. He's the voice of the Ovens and Murray today. 4,500 people still watching O&M Snap Print Solutions TV and staying with us on 2AY and 3NE. Just witnessed one of the epic grand finals. Where does that rank straight off the top of your
Boys,
head?
I've got big Mr. Red right here. How good was that, fella?
Yeah, it's unreal. It doesn't feel real. I'm so happy right now.
You weren't sure where your footy was halfway through the year, but you come home to a familiar face, and you look like you look at the smile on your face, mate. How good is it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice change. It's unreal. I'm just so stoked that Muzz and Baz and Wendy gave me the opportunity to come back, and I'm happy that I could repay the favour in some way. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to be back.
You spent a lot more time in the middle the last couple of weeks. I think that had a bit to do with the turnaround with the style of footy you played. Did you like playing in the middle a bit more?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to get my hands on it. I feel more in the game when I'm in the ruck. I think they're me out a bit to work out how he rucks. So I did.
I need batteries.
Hey, good job.
We might need a little battery change up, I reckon, for the boys down there with the wireless microphones. Massive contingency of Rovers fans out there in the middle of the ground. They're going to take 10 or 15 minutes, I reckon, to make their way over to that grandstand. Brad Sprinkle's freak. They're celebrating hard.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's going to take them a while to get over there. Obviously, as you say, 30 years. There's a lot of supporters out there that want to soak up this moment. Obviously, they've waited for so long. A lot of their die-hard supporters. We often talk in the call team that when we go down to the WJ Finlay Oval, the Rovers have got a really strong supporter base, and they always come out for their team, rain, hail or shine, and you can see it out there at the moment. And it's just rewards for all the volunteers and all the supporters for putting in so many years of effort since their last premiership. So all for it for them to be able to soak up this moment and this next 10, 15, 20 minutes, because it's one of the best feelings in sport.
Absolutely. So I reckon they're going to catch up with Will Christie.
Boys, just so I'm going to cut in here, got big Will Christie, mate. Obviously come back in today from injury, able to stand up, looked a little bit lame, but to be able to get that, I'm sure it's all just in the distant memory now, not all those injuries.
Stoked to be able to get the result. Nothing matters but just this point forward now on. So I thought we're slowing down moments today. Plenty of boys stood up, so we're going to enjoy this one for a long time. It's been a long wait.
Especially as a young kid, mate, when you were getting beaten pillar to post, weren't winning games, you're getting smashed by 200 points, and then to come out, 6 years later and be able to win a flag is absolutely unbelievable, and so many local juniors playing in that as well.
Yeah, I remember, 2018, the year we didn't win a game, I think I played the first 4 or 5 senior games, and it was real tough going, and I played that with boys like Gatto, Dill Wilson, Shag Nolan, and here we all are, so it's really for those guys that super pumped for today, because they've been here a lot longer than me.
And what about that whole community? Look at all these people that are around, mate. It means so much to so many people, doesn't it?
Yeah, so much goes into it. Wendy, Barry, so many people. Look at everyone here right now. So a little bit lost for words, to be honest.
Go and enjoy it, mate. See, it's emotional. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Monty, make sure you boys get a photo of the Premiership Cup and the celebrations over there for social media if you can.
It'll blow up tonight.
It will indeed. I reckon the WJ Finlay Oval club rooms might be on stilts for much longer tonight. They're going to party hard and lift the roof off the joint.
Going to have to re-stump the joint next year, I reckon.
And what now, I guess, for the Yarrawonga Pigeons? Everything went perfect for 2024 other than today. And Freaky, you hit the nail on the head.
Sorry, boys. Sorry, I'm just going to cut in one more.
You go.
Got the big rooster here, Alex McCarthy, mate. How good's that?
Oh, so good. We knew we could do it, but to actually do it is another thing. And it's unreal. Not just for the players playing, but everyone else. Like a few hard luck stories who had played all year and. It's fun. So good. Cheers. Thanks, Dave.
No, mate, we'll go and enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Love it.
Oh, cheers.
We'll have to get Monty to we better thank our sponsors, Anytime Fitness.
Yeah.
Good luck picking a player of the day today, and good luck trying to decipher who the Did Simpson medalist is going to be.
Ed Damon for mine.
I think he'll certainly poll very, very well. I think Brody Philo was really good. I thought Catapan was really good.
What were Damon's numbers, Freaky?
I wasn't taking it, mate. So unfortunately, Panda, but he was.
He had the 2 goals. I reckon he's had 20 touches and 25 hit-outs.
He had a lot of the footy. I think, as Gussie said there, Sam Catapan's another one. I thought he was outstanding today. He had the 22 disposals. Another one that'll feature highly, obviously, is the coach, Sam Murray. Had the 33 disposals
He was
today.
good in the last quarter, wasn't he?
He was. Brody Filer had 26 disposals today as well. And, yeah, Lockie O'Brien had the 22, but I thought it was a real classy 22, especially early when they were a bit nervy start, the Rovers, because of obviously the grand final. He was one that had a nice, calm, level head. He was able just to use some of his ball use, and I feel like his first 10-15 minutes really got them going and got them in the way that they needed to play after they conceded the first couple of goals.
Mike brought some refreshments from the Clubhouse Bar and Bistro. Hey, Gussie?
I better thank Jack Bradley. What a great job he's done at looking after us from Albury City Council today. We might see if Bobby or Monty has got us down there just to give us a sense of what this atmosphere is like at ground level.
They've taped up the microphone to the presentation, boys, so
and there we go.
We'll have to wait till after to have a chat with the boys. If you've just joined us, the Rovers have stolen the Ovens and Murray Grand Final by 3 points, 72-69. Can you believe it? Yarrawonga only beaten once all year by the Albury Tigers. The Rovers lost on all 3 occasions to Yarrawonga only 2 weeks ago by 70 points. And they have turned around and produced one of the most amazing performances in grand final history, Gus McLeod.
I think a lot of credit needs to go to the coach, Sam Murray.
That'll do.
I think he's done an outstanding job at getting these boys back from being knocked out flat on the canvas. 70 points they got pumped by 2 weeks ago. He rolled the dice on bringing players that were underdone back into the senior lineup. He fought through a massive knock that he copped at the 11-minute mark of the second term, and he stepped up with 33 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. I reckon he's a contender for the Anytime Fitness Player of the Day. We might even have to just call him the Anytime Fitness Coach of the Day today, Panda. He has done an outstanding job. We're not too far away to crossing to the Master of Ceremonies, Craig Willis, because the Wangaratta Rovers have been crowned premiers for 2024. A remarkable achievement. Cross down to Craig Willis as soon as we can. Here we go.
And congratulations to both teams. What an outstanding game we've seen in the grand final here of the SS&A Ovens and Murray. And the cup to be presented very shortly indeed. Firstly, I'm going to invite the chairman of the SS&A Ovens and Murray League, David Sinclair, to say a few words. David? There. Thanks, Craig. You have to come in there. Sorry, mate.
Thanks, Craig. Well, what another incredible Ovens and Murray grand final. The third one in a row. I would like to thank Albury City for the way they've presented this venue today, for the Ovens and Murray community for not only supporting today but supporting this great competition right throughout the final series. To our great sponsors, the SS&A Club, McRae Motors, KFC, thank you, and the many others, thank you for your support throughout 2024. To Yarrawonga, I know you'd be massively disappointed. Today just wasn't your day. I would like to, on behalf of the league, thank Steve Johnson for the 2 years that he's given this competition. He's brought publicity and credibility to this competition that money can't buy. And to you, Steve, I wish you well and wherever you go to next. But commiserations to Yarrawonga. A fantastic effort today, but today just wasn't your day. To the Wangaratta Rovers, when I became chairman in 2018, Wang Rovers won the wooden spoon. The work that Wendy, Wally, together with those that have coached along the way, and now with Sam Murray and the group that he's got behind him, Barry Sullivan, has just been an incredible effort, and every one of you should be proud of what you've been able to achieve and where you have brought this club to be where you were, as I said, 2018 and even a fortnight ago in the second semi-final, and to come out and do what you've done today just shows amazing character. Well done, Wang Rovers. I'll now hand back to Craig.
Thank you, David. Our first medals today go to our officiating umpires, for the field umpires. Jason Rain. Ash Broughton. And Jeff Bassett. Our emergency umpire, Mason Ring. On the boundary, Thomas Johnston. Clarence Lamper. Dan Myers-Batali. And Isaiah. Our goal umpires today, Mark Bywall. Steve Goodwin. And the emergency goal umpire, Barry Lewis. And joining us here on the presentation podium is the great-grandson, Curtis Simpson of Did Simpson, to present the medal, the Did Simpson medal, to the player adjudged best of field in the grand final for 2024. And the winner of the Did Simpson medal is number 11, Edward Damon.
What do we reckon, gents? Ed Damon, Did Simpson medal. I reckon that's pretty good.
That's what I picked through the week, Panda.
Yep, you did indeed, Brad Freak.
I'll take that one.
He was outstanding. I reckon after quarter time, really got him going. It was unbelievable from the clearance and contested possession perspective. And what a he played his first Rovers game free at round 15.
Yeah, he's a star of the competition, isn't he? We talked about how good Will Christie was for him at the start of the year, but I think this fella might have him covered. He's a massive, massive inclusion for them in the back half of the year.
He's certainly been a big part. 30-year premiership.
And before we begin the runner-up coach, Steve Johnson, to say a few words.
Just here. I'd just like to congratulate, I guess, the comeback from the loss a couple of weeks ago. So congratulations and enjoy the celebrations. To our boys, obviously we'll be very disappointed. But we should be also very proud. We've had a fantastic season. Weren't able to cap it off today, but you go about your footy the right way, and right up until the last minute, we gave ourselves a chance. So should be very proud. And I've loved coaching you boys the last 2 seasons. So thank you. And just finally, I'd just like to thank our supporters. For turning up, and we apologise that we couldn't get the job done today, but hopefully the boys will bounce back next year. So thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Well done, Steve, and thank you once again. Okay, to the victors, the spoils. Let's hand out some premiership medallions. Number 1, Dylan Stone.
Great story, isn't it, Gussie? One of the original Rovers involved back in 2018. He's been in the Rovers for a very long time.
Absolute star, back in following missing the prelim final. And I think those ribs will be sore tomorrow, but I reckon his head might be sorer.
Yep, I don't reckon he'll give
Number 2, number 3, Dylan Wilson.
Another one that's been through the dark ages at the Wangaratta Rovers. Come off the ground with an ankle. I reckon that ankle might be...
well, he's walking all right up the stairs.
He looks okay now.
He might have a few painkillers tonight, so he'll be right.
Get the moon boot on and hit the dance floor, Dylan Wilson.
He just needed the rail.
Number 4, Stuart Booth.
Another one that's been around for a very, very long time. Played a lot of twos footy, hasn't he, Freaky and Gussie? But a lot of twos footy, but got his chance in round 1 and never really looked back.
Yeah, he's had a really good year, I feel. You know, sometimes Booth, he comes in and out of the games, but when he gets into the game, he does really affect it. Really good leader, uses the ball well. He's a good player.
Number 6, Lockie O'Brien.
We talked about this guy being one of the boom recruits in the competition. Many questioned why he was playing on the wing. I think today we saw the engine room of the Rovers stood up and Lockie O'Brien's used going inside 50. He's one of the recruits of the year.
22 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. As I said earlier, his calmness and poise, I think, early.
Number 7, Will Nolan.
What a story for Shagger. Unbelievable. Played his 100th Rovers senior game, I think, in the Derby victory on Good Friday. Just an all-around good guy. Plays his role every week. He is the first selected every week for the Rovers, Gussie.
Heart and soul player, one of the most reliable back pockets in the competition, and Shagger's going to party well and truly into the early hours
Number
of
8,
the morning.
Will Christie.
Roll the dice, Panda, and it come up today.
He got 12, didn't he? 2 sixes, and he was just outstanding. What did he end up with? 2 goals? Yep, 2 big goals, and they win by 3 points, so tick for mine.
And he changed the game. He gave the Rovers an option inside forward 50 they haven't had all year. Big tick for Will Christie coming into the side.
Number 9, Xavier Allison.
He's been the recruit of the year for mine.
Yeah,
I reckon.
He's been probably recruit of the year, and he's probably still one of the most underrated players across the competition as well. His ball use out of that half-back line is just, a lot like Lockie O'Brien, just a real calming influence when he's got the ball, the footy in hands.
Number 10, Brody Philo.
Well, he won't be called Brody tonight. He'll roll as Brad. His alter ego. I tell you what, it's going to be a bad night to be a beer with Brody Philo in the house.
Absolutely.
He's already showing off to the boys.
I want him to do a Shane Crawford. That's what I'm talking about. He's every chance.
Number 11, Edward Damon.
The Dibson player of the day, Big Ed. One of the great recruiting stories in modern football. Playing 12 winless games with Ocean Grove.
Round 15 against North Albury's first.
Another one that's fought off many a
Number 15, Shane Gaston.
Look at what it means to Shane. I mean, he's played 300 Rovers club games and he's finished with a premiership now. The perfect way to go out. What an absolute champion of the Wangaratta Rovers.
He might have to let Matty Kelly know he's not coming.
Number 16, Kieran Parnell.
How big was Parnell in the last 10 minutes?
How many intercept marks did he take, Freaky?
He was unbelievable. Marks and the impact he had on the game in the last 15 minutes. If you make a case, it wasn't for him those last 10 minutes. Good chance.
Number 18, Justin Lewis.
Had a monster final series.
Kicked 14 goals for the year, 2 today. He's kicked 2 in the grand final. So he's kicked 16 goals for the year, just plays his role every week. High pressure forward. Great story for Juzzy Lewis.
Canavan.
Another really good recruit. They've just got good people into the club, haven't they, the Rovers? Leadership. I think they needed some leadership to help out Sam Murray. And I reckon this bloke has been fantastic.
Easily amongst the best players today. Yep. I think Sam Catapan, their whole engine room was sensational.
Number 27, Jace McQuaid.
Certainly got the chocolates over Lee Williams today, and arguably one of the best defenders in the competition. Is a key pillar in the back six, Brad.
Yeah, he certainly did. He really showed why he's that big key pillar down back. Him and obviously Tommy Boyd, just such a good
number 29.
Part of the Rovers thirds for a couple of years. I think he had to step away because he had and he has been played every game. He got a sprinkling and made his debut last year, but he has been first picked in a really good, solid Rovers defence all year.
Number 32, Jack Gerish.
What a year from Jack Gerish. His form ebbed and flowed, and I thought he had a really solid finals campaign.
Yep, great final series, I reckon, Gussie. I reckon his kicking has improved a lot in the last 12, 18 months.
Absolutely, particularly today when stuck in the back pocket.
Number 36, Alice McCarthy.
The Rooster, gripping nickname. He's kicked 27 goals for the year.
How good was his hands at different stages around the ground today? Just a good get-out kick to have alongside the FUD.
And what about his younger brother, whose name's about to be called out?
Yeah.
Number 38, Will McCarthy.
And what a few games he played. Murray Bushrangers star. Oh, I thought he played an outstanding role across halfback, Brad.
Yeah, he did. And today as well. Last weekend as well in the prelim final. Probably, again, didn't have a whole heap of the footy, but just got an eye future for Will.
Number 20, Finn Osborne.
The late inclusion, heartbreak for Lockie McCartney, who missed out today. But into the side, premiership player. What a big 48 hours for Finn.
And now we welcome the co-captains of this victorious side. Number 5, Tom Boyd.
Come to the club under Darren Creswell in his second year at the helm. Been an ultimate swingman, kicked goals, big goals.
Loved his move to defence this year, Gussie. We questioned it, didn't we?
I said it'd last about 30 seconds in one game.
And there's a team of the year centre halfback.
And a premiership captain.
Yep.
Put that in your pipe, Gus. And I'm looking forward to the
Number
roar for this one.
23, Alexander Marklew.
Also known as Fuence Elmer Fudd. Had an outstanding final series. Maybe not necessarily on the stat sheet and the goals tally, but he has stepped up, and
it's another 50-goal year for him. And if you do that 3-4 years in a row, you're a sensational forward.
And the thing I love about this, another Marklew becomes a premiership player at the Rovers.
And the coach, number 13, Samuel Murray.
Had a big last quarter. What were his numbers in the last quarter, Freaky?
Yeah, had 9 disposals on the 40-minute stat sheet, 33 for the game for Sam Murray. He really put himself behind the ball and just became that general. There was a couple of times real big spoils he had to really disturb the Pigeons.
And taking away the on-field performance, what he's done during the week has been a coaching masterstroke, in my opinion, and he'll receive his premiership medallion, and I cannot wait.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome the president of the SS&A Club, Sir Eddie Dunlop, to make this presentation of the 2024 SS&A Cup.
I wonder if Sammy's going to say a few words.
Well, they've done it again. Have they done it again?
I think they have.
Listen to the roar. 30 years of pain, done and dusted. They've written their own chapter, the Wangaratta Rovers, and you love to see a side off the canvas in the last decade, win on the biggest stage.
Good to see you, mate. Take care. Let's try and get the coach over.
They're trying to get Sammy Murray over for a chat.
See you, mate. Good to see you. Good luck. Just say a few words.
So we'll wait and see if Sam has a chat.
Yarra, before you go, thank you so much. You guys are the benchmark all year. You deserve everything you've got. And Stevie, the hardest coach to coach against in the league. You throw so many stuffs up, so good luck with what comes next. And thank you, guys. One sec. I'll keep it short, but it's been 30 years. 30 years too fucking long for this club. Let's go!
That was short. Yeah, it was short and sharp.
I think that concludes our official presentation.
Here's from Henty.
Well done to the winning team. Hope you've had a great afternoon of footy here at the SS&A.
Thought it was sweet, and it was true Sam Murray style.
Well done to Craig Willis.
He dropped the magic.
He did a Brian Taylor.
He's dropped the magic.
And dropped the magic. All right, we might take a break, shall we? And we'll come back with the coaches on the other side of this. And more from the Lavington Sports Ground. Stay with us, the post-game show for the Clubhouse Bar and Bistro, as the Rovers have broken a 30-year drought to win one of the great grand finals by 3 points, 72-69. And on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.